Hi y'all, Kraken Latte here. It's that time again where I bring you my tips, facts, or experience that you may or may not find helpful. Hi y'all, Kraken Latte here. Welcome to my new weekly World of Warcraft Let's Play. In the spirit of leveling and testing all the leveling routes, I decided to go ahead and give the Azeroth Auto Pilot route a shot. I used to use this a lot back in like Battle for Azeroth and Legion, back when it was Khan's Legion before it was AAP that it is now. It's come a long way. But I stopped using it at the end of BFA just because I wanted to do my own path. I was tired of following routes. So, I am on a fresh level 10 character here. I just got them out of Exile's Reach. I'm on a Worgen Warrior, Fury Warrior this time, because I need one for the Stay Classy achievement. So, figured why not. We'll do Worgen Warrior and leaving the green dots on for this, since it looks like it's trying to lead me places. Although I think it might be a little confused because I already left the tutorial. Good to know. Good to know. I may or may not do a Horde version. I'm doing Alliance first because I wanted to. Let's look here. Let's skip this. This isn't... There we go. Okay, no. I had it confused. Let's see, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so we need to go all the way. It wants us to set the hearth over in the Dwarven district, really? That's interesting. Figured, I usually set mine during leveling in the trade district. That way I have quicker access to the mage tower, and I don't have to run all the way across the dang city, but... Well, that's fine, whatever. I am going to try to follow the AAP guide as much as possible, because I have no idea what the route is for it right now. Although I'm going to assume it's a WOD, World of Draenor? What was I trying to say? Draenor. I'm sure it's going to send me into Draenor after we pick up Chromie time over here. Because that's what everyone says is the best, even though I haven't had the greatest results, at least for me. This is just me. I like my route a little better. I don't have a definitive route right now. It's work in progress, because at the point of this, I'm in the middle of testing Outland. Actually, not even in the middle. I'm at the end. I'm almost done with Outland. Alright, set our hearth here. Bingo, bango, bongo, done. Alright, now let's, yep, Chromie time. Let's go talk to the Gnomie. The Gnomegon, the Gnome Dragon, the Gnome... The Sparkle Princess. Let's go talk to her. Oh, I'm so slow. Oh, I'm so slow. I can't wait for level 20 writing. Level 10, like, you get used to your low level writing, but man. Alright, whoa, that just kind of flew through there. Let me... Oh, did it already pick it? Yep, I figured. Okay, yeah, auto-picked Warlords for me. I'll turn in the quest. There we go. Okay. Yep. Okay, well, I guess we are back to the Mage Tower. To the Mage Tower! Dur-dur-dur-dur! All the way back across the city. Well, since we're not doing anything exciting at the moment, my plan for this is I'll probably do about an hour-long-ish episodes for the AAP series here, so I can kind of keep track of how many hours it takes. Because my goal is I want to compare. Because everyone says that I need to do, and I've been told this by many people, the Azeroth Auto Pilot route, because it is the best in the game, can't be beat. Besides, you know, crazy speedrunners like Des Mephisto himself, and he's the one that helped with the routes for this anyways. So, for this add-on. Yeah, so I'm going to do it and compare. Because right now, I have no idea what this route is going to be like. I mean, it's obviously you're taking me into Draenor. I don't know anything beyond that. I haven't used it in a long time. Nice gear, dude. So, I'm going to do it, see how long it takes me. I'm going to guess probably between 6 and 8 hours to 50. I'm only going to 50. I'm not doing the 50 to 60 route yet. That's a whole different animal. I'll deal with that later. I'm going to guess between 6 and 8 hours. I'm hoping closer to 6, but we'll see. Because my current route, it's a very work in progress, mind you, because I'm not done with it, for Alliance, is 6.5 hours, I think was my fastest so far. I'd like to get that down a little further. And keep in mind, too, that this is without buffs. Like, the only buff I have for that route is War Mode. We need to... Yep, this chickie here. Alright. That's without buffs, you know. Because I've watched Des Mephisto's, whatever you call it, speed run. The 3.5, 4 hour speed run that he did. Because everyone's like, well, you gotta do his route. Well, there's kind of some issues with that. First of all, he's awesome at what he does. So there's that. And second of all, he had a lot of buffs. He had, like, I counted like 60% XP increase. And he did it during pre-patch. There are some changes from pre-patch to now. Some areas got nerfed. Like, some stuff in Draenor got nerfed since then. A little bit. Some things have been adjusted. You know, stuff like that. And if you're wondering where I'm going, I am going... Let's see, is this correct? Yeah, I have that right. Can I not close out of this? Can I not? Is it because I'm in combat? Yeah. Okay, well... Alright then, that can just stay there, I guess. Anyways, don't like running across this area at level 10 because you will get, like, stunned the crap out of, and it's so annoying. So, because I've tested this multiple times already, the intro here, if you go around up over this mountain and take a glider down, you don't have to deal with all those mobs, because you can die from those stinking Iron Horde mobs. It's a little frustrating. That really eats into your time, so. And taking gliders is fun anyways. But anyway, I'm going to see how this route does compared to the one I currently have, which, mind you, it's work in progress, and then see if I learn anything out of it, because you never know. I don't know. I might learn something interesting, something nifty. And glider time, yeah! Because cool. Glider. Anywho's, Des Mephisto's super fast route that he did during pre-patch, it's not easily replicatable, if that makes sense, on the... I don't want to say by the common folk, but by us non-crazy speed leveler plebs, including myself. He had like some 60% buffs. He used on a horde. It was like a Volpera, I think, so he could use their racial for the portal. Is this gonna load in? Is this gonna? Why does it do this? Come on, there it goes. Wow. Anyway, so, which is fine. You know, if you want to go the whole hog route like he did, do it. There's nothing wrong with that. But I need a route that I can easily do without thinking about it, without relying on a metric boatload of buffs. And something that's consistent, because I have a lot of alts and I want to use it for all my alts, so I can start farming things, like, you know, in Shadowlands and for future stuff. So yeah, that's why I do what I do, because I've been asked before why I'm not, you know, getting the Darkwind Fair buff, or can you, I'm ignoring you, sir, and or ma'am. I don't want to assume. Never know with these orcs, you know. Anyway, but, you know, the only, okay, fine, you asked for it. You want to die, just take my swords. Just, thank you, sir. Anyway, let's see. It wants me to go up the middle stairs? Okay. I usually go up the side here because it's a little faster, but I'm going to try to follow the dots most of the time just so I can see what it wants. Because I have my own routes. Like, I've done these a gazillion times myself. Everyone loves the WAD intro. I don't. I've done it too many times. They're like, oh, it gives so much XP. It kind of does. It only gives like 3 or 4 levels. Which I have better routes, but Anyway, whatever. I'll knock it after I see the results of the route here. Get that. Slap. Excuse me, ghost. Excuse me. Just want the rocks. Excuse me. Ignore all you. Excuse me. There we go. Hey, Gul'dan. Guldad. There's a person there. Hi. Anyway, so yeah, so we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun doing this. I'm kind of sick of Draenor right now, honestly. It's complicated. Like the different testing that I need to do for Warlords of Draenor content. I have to do each zone like between 6-8 times, maybe more, if I do other brackets. Because of everything that goes into it. You know, there's the two factions, first of all, that have slightly different quest lines. There's the different outposts. You can choose 2 different outposts, which unlock different things and give you different quests. And then there's treasures, which they've been severely nerfed. The treasures have been like stupid nerfed, so they don't give much anymore. But they are still consistent. You don't have to, deal with spawning chests or anything like you do in the old world stuff. I guess this is kind of like old world now. Drainer's been out for quite a while. Anyway, and there's bonus objectives. Like literally half of a zone's XP are bonus objectives. So there's that. Seeing if a zone is good without them or if with them, because some of those bonus objectives are a pain in the ass. Not gonna lie. It's on some of the squishier classes that don't heal themselves very well. Like I had trouble with my rogue, so I'm not very good at rogue player, and priest took me forever, just because they're a dot class, so it took a little while. But anyway, there's stuff like that. Like, for all I know, Gorgrond could be the best zone ever if you don't do the treasures and the bonus objectives. Like, that sounds crazy, but can you say that's not? Have you tested it? I haven't. I mean, I have now. I actually have, but I'm not telling you my results yet. You have to wait for the video when that comes out. Sir, you fine. Take my... I keep trying to say axes. Maybe I should give this guy axes instead. I like these swords, though. They're pretty. Coffee time. I have a lovely white chocolate latte that I just whipped up before this session here, so I could give this a good hearty Kraken coffee-fueled attempt. So I'm going to treat this as if it were my own route, which means I'm not going to be, slacking. I'm going to kill shit and move on, if that makes sense. So, but we will see. We will see here. Got those all done. Nice. And, yep. Alright. Cool. So yeah, I'm, excited to see how this goes. Debating, I don't know if I'll need to do the Horde side yet. Because, well, if it's Draenor, I might not have to do a Horde version. I don't know what the route's like. I mean, obviously we had just started, but I don't know if I need to do the Horde side as well, because I'm doing Alliance here, because if it's Draenor, that's all fairly neutral stuff. Like, there are differences. Like, I just said I have to do Horde and Alliance different stuff, but from what I've seen so far, it's pretty similar, despite having different quests, which is something I have noticed a lot of in World of Warcraft here. A lot of zones that have different quest lines for the two different factions, either the quests are very similar, as in like for the Horde, it's all like, go kill these 30 ogres, and then Alliance is like, well, go talk to these 30 ogres, or whatever. Like, it's the same thing, but with a different flavor. So that's interesting. But because of that, a lot of zones end up panning out to the same, almost the same results. You know, same time, about the same experience from it. Which is fine. That's totally fine. That's good to know because, you know, there's balance. I still am testing everything because there are zones that aren't like that. I don't have an example off the top of my head right now, but, really? This thing shows me... Huh, I did... Sorry, I did that glider trick by habit because it's what I always do. I'm kind of zoning out and talking while I play here, but it wanted me to go around the bridge. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Tisk. Well, whatever. I'll just be a little faster than the base AAP direction. That's fine. Anyways, what was I saying? What was I talking about? I gotta get used to, so bear with me here. I gotta get used to doing Let's Plays like this. Playing while talking and trying to make sure I accomplish what I'm doing. Which probably will slow me down a little bit while I'm doing this here. So, because trying to hold the conversation with yourself, while also trying to make sure you're efficient while questing, it's a different skill. It's a different skill than you would think. And a skill that you wouldn't think would be a skill. It's funny is that is. Come on, guys, get over here. I know you were being tortured and all, but just teleport or something. Where is... Oh, there he is. I always forget he goes back there. And then I talk to Khadgar. And then I can ride over here with my Worgen pause and wait for the unskippable Kargath entrance. Oh well, whatever. Yeah. I have to say, I'm kind of, like, on the note of the treasures being nerfed, I'm kind of fine with it. Because I leveled through all the zones proper when Draenor was live. And then when I got Pathfinder and found out that the treasures were like god tier, even when Draenor was live, I started doing that. So ever since then, until 9.0, every time I leveled, where am I going here? Right, kill things. Ever since I leveled from then to now, to 9.0, through Draenor, that section, it was only with the treasures, because I got it down to 45 minutes. I could do that whole 10 range here, 10 level range. What was that? 90 to 100? Wow, how quickly I forget. Level 90 to 100 in like 45 minutes. And that's when we had the that 20% buff that we could get from the garrison too. That's gone, which is a bummer, but whatever. So, and I had that trick. If you've seen my previous guides here. Come on, eyeball. Sorry, I got something in my head. Okay, good thing I'm playing good at playing one-handed here. Anyway, so, and then I could use that 20% buff, because you couldn't use it after 99, I think. But if you put it on, a second one on, right before you ding to 100, you could, it would still work for another 20 minutes or whatever it was, and so I would go to Legion, go to the Broken Isles, immediately, yeah, hi Kargath, I am pleased, blah, 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 you and your blah, blah, blaring. Sorry, but I'm awesome. Khadgar, I miss you. Anyway, I go to Legion, go to the Broken Isles, log out immediately to save that buff, and then wait for the invasion to come around and do that. And so then I would do, over, the period of like a few days because of the invasions, I would do the Legion portion in like 3 hours? 2 hours, if that. It was pretty quick. I don't even remember anymore. I'd have to look. Take a sippy sip here. before we get back into the thick of it here. Alright. Let's see. Oh, it wants me to turn right? Okay, well, I can do that. That's fine. I usually go up the middle to get all those mobs up there, but granted there's no one in front of me, I won't need to. I'm used to there being multiple people here. I only saw one person so far, so that's good. I think the leveling craze has finally slowed down a little bit. That's one thing that's been interesting. Trying to test the Draenor zones, back on that note, has been a little rough, just because, which is also why I gave it a break. There's been a lot of people there, so they're taking all the mobs. So it's, like, on one hand, you know, that's good to see, because I can't just expect that everyone's gonna be leveling solo when no one's around. But on the other hand, it kind of throws off my data, because I can't see what it's like, because I have to sit there and wait for things to respawn, or whatever. So, that's been kind of frustrating, too. And I already have to do each zone a million times anyways, different ways. Anyway. Let's see, let's get these woofs out of the way here. Slap. Slap, 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 slap. Ooh, dang. So we basically started this at 11, because I hit 11 before I came into the dark portal, and I know that I'll probably be like 14 when I get out of it, maybe 15, probably 14. It only gives like 2.5 to 3 levels, and then the garrison, if you do that part, gives like another 2, something like that. So yeah, you get a handful of levels out of it, but I'm a little unsure why everyone says it's so god tier, because I've done it many times, and it's like 5 levels in 45 minutes is great, but it stops, you know, that time stops. Optimally, you want to continue that. So like Lockmadon, I was able to get from 10 to 23 in 77 minutes is my record right now, which blows this out of the water. So there's a little tip for y'all Alliance players. Of course, that's just with my current running route. I don't know what's going to be best yet, because I'm not done with everything. I'm almost done with Outland, and then I'm going to go ahead and just go straight into Northrend and do those, because they're a lot less complicated. Let me tell you, the Outland zones have been a real drag. Like, I don't know how you lovely viewers feel about Outland quests, but it's my least favorite questing in the game, honestly. Like, the zones are gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love the zones. Like, Zangarmarsh is beautiful. I love the alien mushroom kind of fantasy, otherworldly stuff. I love Terrakar. Terrakar is gorgeous. I love the strange, desolate weirdness of Netherstorm. Netherstorm's cool. But I don't care for how they did the quest. It's like one major mob grind fetch quest with lots of RNG. Like, there was more RNG in those quests than I remember there being. People knock on the RNG of fetch quests now. Like, even in current WoW, I mean, like, I'm sure people are reliving it now back in vanilla, in the classic BC, in the classic vanilla servers, but things have been dumbed down. Well, I shouldn't say dumbed down. Improved a lot with RNG as far as quests go. Because, like, I don't know, frickin' getting coyote teeth on the Horde for 20 years. Even just in Lockmadon, my times from before 9.0 and now actually have improved a lot, because of they have been not decreased the RNG, I guess is the better term, because there are some, you know, RNG quests like collecting bear asses and spider parts or something. I don't remember. It's funny, as many times as I've done Lockmadon, you'd think I would remember the quests, but it's kind of the inverse effect. I've done it so much that it's a blur. It's all a blur. Sneaking a sip. Alright. Okay. Moving on to this dude. Is it not giving me a path here? I guess it's just kind of a free-for-all collectible thing here. Okay, that's fine. I'm surprised it doesn't give me as many, like, I don't know, paths to follow as I thought it would. Because, like, back when I used it in BFA and in Khan's Legion, back when it was that in Legion, I think those were the same add-ons. I could be wrong, but they did the same thing. It would give me very specific pathing, like, to the dot of where to go. But this feels kind of free-for-all-ish. It's just giving me, like, general directions here, so that's interesting. Yeah, it'd be, I mean, to the dot, like, to the mob, like, you know, very specific coordinates. It's like, kill these specific mobs in this order. Which was fine, because, I don't want to say I was new to the game in Legion, because I sure as heck wasn't, but I started in the middle of MoP, of Miss Pandaria, and I really didn't truly understand how the game worked until mid-WoD, when I started raiding more hardcore. I mean, I was raiding hardcore in MoP, but, like, just because I was raiding hardcore doesn't mean I really understood how the game worked, if that makes sense. You know, the in-depth stuff. And raiding is a totally different animal anyways. I didn't do a lot of leveling. Like, I hated it when I first started. Like, I loved it, and then I hit mists. I hit 80 and or 85 and had to go do Mists of Pandaria, and I hated it. I hated Mists of Pandaria, and I actually still do. Sorry, I don't like Mists of Pandaria quests. Not, like, they're far better designed than, like, Outland, in my opinion. I agree there. But, anyway, I digress. What was I talking about? I don't even know. I'm getting distracted here watching these ogres and orcs, and it's an ogron, not an ogre. Whatever. Ogs. They're all related. All toothy bastards. Come here. I would totally play an ogron. Just saying. Or an ogre. Heck, I'd play any non-superhuman looking race. I like the more bestial races, which is ironic that I'm on the Worgen, because I have a lot of humans and elves too, but you know, want more unique races to play. WoW's got so many unique races in the game. I would play all of them. Like Satyr and Dryads and Arakoa. Both Arakoa, the high Arakoa and the corrupted ones, which, you know, those little decrepit fellows. Trying to do hand signals here, but I can't because I need to play. Centaur, man, they need an upgrade. I don't know if you've looked at the Centaur recently, but I don't think they've ever gotten a graphical update. The Centaur in this game are rough, which is a shame because I love the Centaur, even though there's not a lot on them. Dragonkin, I'd play dragons. Dragonkin, them too. Elementals, I know that's kind of reaching a little bit. Demons, I'd play them. Frickin' run around as a Felguard or a Wrathguard or Succubus. That'd be rad. Anyway, whatever. Hopes and dreams, you know? Hopes and dreams. That's fine. Want me to turn that in first? That's a little strange. Alright, it's fine. Whatever. I usually just, like, pick up everything, do everything, and then turn it in. And I think that's just kind of the best method for me. So this intermittent turning things in is kind of mentally throwing me off. That's why I keep pausing, like, wait, what? Because I'm trying to follow mindlessly as best as I can. Because that's what I usually do when I'm questing, you know, without AAP. There's the culprit. I was wondering why there wasn't a whole lot here. You little turd. Take on my orcs. Whatever. Anyway. So I'm trying to kind of follow this as I would if I weren't using it. You know, just pick up, blindly follow, do the thing. I don't know. Skill, I guess. Instinct. I don't know. It's whatever. Yeah. Well, at any rate. Man, you cleared out all the orcs, lady. I usually have my schematics by now. Poopy. That's fine. I'll just kill these over here. At least there's these. Come here, bruh. I need to myrtleize your face. I'm shaking some... I want coffee. Give me a sip. I want a sip of my coffee. Okay. Ooh. Quick sip. There we go. Give me my schematics. Give. To go out of my way for this. Boo. Give. Oh, there we go. Good. That wasn't too many times. Every once in a while, I'll have a character that's like, I have to clear out the place like twice before I stink and get the item I need, because man, I don't know why, but some characters are just unlucky. They just are. So usually I turn in everything at once right there, but it wanted me to turn the other one in early. What time are we at? Yeah, we're a little behind where I usually am when I do this. Interesting. And it's not because of warrior. Warrior is definitely fast. Like, I was debating between like a priest, a warlock, and a warrior, because those are some of the ones that I need more of for the stay classy achievement. And I was like, you know, I want to try to do this as quickly as I can. And priest is slow for me. When leveling, you know, high level priest is the bomb, but low level priest is pretty slow. And then warlock, I'm just not great with leveling warlocks. Like, they're fine. I do fine. But, anyway, warrior's pretty good. I've kind of semi-fallen back in love with Fury specifically. I used to love warrior a lot in Legion. I loved the Legion warrior. I think a lot of people did. And then they changed it in BFA. Could you get back here? Seriously. Fine. Do that. They changed it in BFA, and it didn't have the same speedy feeling. Like, I love being fast. Like, that's why I like Fire Mage and Monk and like Hunter, because they're fast. I like fast classes. I mean, I like everything, which is kind of funny because one of my other favorites is Elemental Shaman, and they're not fast, so they kind of defy that that rule. But anyways, I'll see if I can get this going. Can't go. Anywho, what was I even talking about? Oh, I picked Warrior because it's fast, and if you keep attacking things and keep killing things, you can heal yourself fairly well. Like, it's not like a direct, you know, this is a heal spell necessarily. But they've got their ways, and I appreciate that. I feel like the self-healing for warriors is better now than it was in BFA. And that was partly why I didn't like them. They were slower, and their self-healing just sucked. I mean, you know, so that's just... I'm sure there's some people that are going to disagree with me, but the BFA version was not my favorite. But that's it. I've fallen back in love with the new Fury. I like it. It's still not one of my my favorite, but it's probably in my top 6. Probably number 6. Probably number 6 or 7 of my favorite classes. Well, specs, I should say specifically. There's Marksman, Hunter, Fire Mage, and just Brewmaster / Mistweaver are my favorite. I actually, ironically, don't care that much for Windwalker. It's useful. I'm pretty good at it. I used to main it back in WoD. That's what I rated as. Was a monk. It's Mist specifically, but I did the other 2 specs when necessary. So when I say monk, it's just kind of the whole class. But I prefer ranged, honestly. Like, if I could put like Marksman and Fire Mage like on monk and just like meld them together and take out Windwalker, Buckkeep Brewmaster and Mistweaver, because those are my favorite tank and healers specs in the game. Next to Vengeance, Demon Hunter. Really do love Vengeance. I'd be very, very happy, Lottie. Very happy. Coffee time. Mm. Speaking of latte. And I'm done with that. Alright, nice. Nice. It's a little behind in the time of where I would like to be, but that's okay, it's fine. And glider trick. Whee! The add-on AAP said I would need at least 5 gliders. So I appreciate that it tells me I need gliders, but I grabbed them anyway. I keep crazy amounts of gliders in my guild bank because I use them a lot on when I'm leveling. If you can't fly, you gotta stack gliders, and that's just period. That's just how it is. So, because they're always useful. And it's only a 3-minute cooldown, so it's not too bad. Run, everybody! Run, Forest! Well, we did it. We did it, guys. We're just gonna steal one of their boats. Let's get out of here. Goodbye. Somebody dinged, I saw that. Probably that shaman. Come on, load screen. So I was a little slow the first time. I think it's because I skipped the, Oh, we're invisible here. I think it's because I skipped the cinematics. So it's all like... Gotta load a little early! Prophet, this hero... Blur, blur, blur. Whatever. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go. I'm not waiting for you. Don't have to wait for them. I'll meet you up there! I'm so slow. I hope it tells me to go pick up my fast routing as soon as I hit 20. And war mode. I don't know what it's gonna do because some people are like, well, you don't have to pick that up as soon as you hit 20. And I'm like, but why though? I like doing that because it speeds me up. Like, well, because of travel time. I'm like, travel time is not a big deal. Like, if I've timed, you know, how long it takes to get between places. Like, a whole 1 to 2 minutes is not gonna kill you. Especially when you can get war mode at 20. That's quite important. I wish you could turn on war mode at 10. Speaking of that, is Marad, you okay there, bud? Nope. Okay, well, you just teleport down. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. All right. What time are we at? We're about halfway there. I'll do 30 more minutes or so. Try to make these an hour just so I can keep track. Wait for everybody to come through the portal. So, how are you? We're waiting for everybody to get their butts over here. Come on, man. There we go. There we go. Hello, Sa. Good Sa. Sa! Alrighty. Alright, let us be on our merry way here. Marking trees for lumberjacks. Oh yeah, they can go slap that wood. Don't take that out of context. But anyways, slap it with their axes. So, you know, that's how you fell trees, right? Slap. Anyway. Well, I'm 16, so that's alright. I've gone 5 levels in, like, what are we at, like 40-ish minutes now? It's okay. Not quite optimal for this level, but whatever. That's fine, that's fine. I'm keeping track of the time because I have, you know, like I mentioned, a tentative work in progress route right now, which I'm not going to hone it until, or even reveal all of it, because it's not done until I'm done, you know, done with it and confident with it. Oh, this is a person over there. You look like you need some help. Poor little mage. There you go. But we're a little behind where my route is, so that's interesting. But that's fine. Whatever. I'm gonna keep going. I can't knock it yet, because just because it's a little slow in the beginning doesn't mean it doesn't, you know, overall better. That's something too, which is also partly why I completely do a zone when I test it. Is because it may be slow to start, or it may be really good in the beginning, but the end may be bad or really good. I don't know. You know, and then overall it may be better than you would expect. Or worse. Hard to say. You don't know until you try it, so that's why I'm doing all that again. But I figured I would give Azeroth Auto Pilot here a try to kind of shake things up a little bit, because I love leveling, don't get me wrong. But I love leveling when I can choose where I'm leveling. And because I have to do every single zone a minimum of 2 to 3 times, and I have to do zones in Outland and Northrend, which are my 2 least favorite questing areas in the game. Yeah, I know. Everyone's like, boo, Northrend's the best. I'm like, it's not my favorite. It's really not. Like, beautiful. The atmosphere is gorgeous. The quest lines are kind of funny. I don't know. It just doesn't jive with me. Anyway, because I can't really pick where I'm leveling, it's kind of starting to get on my nerves just a little bit, because I've technically been doing this whole leveling testing thing since last November, when I was doing it with my best friend, Silverfire T, but she stopped playing in January. So I had to redo everything that her and I already did, which was quite a bit, because I wanted to go ahead and like, well, I gotta do this by myself instead of with a friend. So I'm gonna do everything solo, and I can't compare data correctly to stuff that wasn't done solo, because that does affect the data. It'll be faster, but I'll get a little bit less XP when you quest with friends. I can't compare it, you know, properly with that, so, no waypoints in Garrison. Alright, assuming it wants me to pick up the stuff I usually pick up here. No waypoints in Garrison complete quests. Okay, well, pick up that egg while I'm here. I'm assuming I'm doing what it wants. It's not really telling me what quest to pick up. Pick up quests? There's lots of quests here. What quest do you want? I already picked up the Garrison quest. It's a little odd. Okay. Maybe it wants me to pick up Starfall. What's... I don't know why it would want me to do Starfall, but... guess I'll go ahead and snag that. Hey, Cardana. Yeah, that was it. It wanted me to do... Really? Ah, does that mean it wants me to do Starfall? Bleh. That's really slow. Well, whatever. Let's continue. Let's see. Go northwest of Garrison. Don't have any dots for that. Really gonna make me use let's see, northwest. That's down at the docks. Yeah. Alright. Treasure is north of ship. Get the treasure. And then okay. For some reason this is confusing me, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, yeah, it is up there. Just say go do the quest. Don't be like... I don't know, this thing's a little funky. Whatever. That's fine. Really? Can't use my glider right there still? I don't know what's up with that. It doesn't let you use the glider when you're going outside of the garrison. Not sure why that's a thing, but alright. See, what's it want me to do? It wants me to go straight to the treasure? Not do the quests first? Okay, whatever. AAP, you the boss. I'll follow you. Well, okay, I want to get this right here. So I can't miss that. That's gonna bother me. Yep. I'm assuming it wants me to kind of do things as I go along, but it sure is green dotting me directly to the treasure end of the ship here. Oh, whatever. That's fine. I'll just do what it says. Put on that real quick. There we go. If you're wondering what that was, I just used since it was kind of fast. It's the Shimmer Scale Dive Suit, something like that. It's from BFA, actually. BFA has some good crafted items that you can use. That one, the Shimmer Scale Suit, increases your swim speed for 15 minutes by 100%. Which is nice, because you can use it at all levels. It's like the gliders. It's something that I just keep on me because, man, swim speed is disgusting. So when you can move those around there we go. When you can speed up even just swim speed, it's nice. And it, unlike water walking pots, it doesn't, as you can see, the buff is still on down there. It doesn't go away when I get hit. It stays on for its whole 15 minutes, which is really handy. And it works with mounts. So you can ride any mount underwater because they had nerfed, I don't know if you know this, but they nerfed the swim speed of swimming specific mounts, underwater mounts, quite a while ago now. It was like at the end of BFA. So they're not nearly as fast as they used to be. I don't know why or what the purpose of that was. It's not like we have a whole lot of underwater in the game. And the one main underwater questing area like Vashj'ir, you have a special amount for that you get there that's not affected by that. So like, I don't know, they make weird changes sometimes to me. Like I don't know, you know, who was doing what to cause them to make such a change. But anyways, my point is when you have this buff on with the Shimmer Scale suit, it makes your regular mounts swim just as fast now as the swimming mounts underwater. Which, you know, isn't blazing speed at any means. It's still pretty slow, but it's faster than chugging along. Faster than it was. So I don't even really need a underwater mount on my Opie. Like, I still have it there. I have the Crimson Tide Stallion or whatever it's called just because it's cute, but I almost never use it because when I am underwater, I put a suit on. Does it want this? Yeah, it wants me to get that. Okay, there we go. So, really? Can't jump that. That's fine. Whatever. I don't know. This is a funky change, but whatever. It is what it is. Let's move on. Not necessarily complaining, I just think it's odd. I don't know why they make some changes sometimes, but whatever. I'm not seeing the whole picture. For all I know, someone was abusing underwater mount speed somehow and ruining something somewhere. I don't know. Who knows, man? There could be a million reasons. Sneak in a shippy ship. Okay, let's go turn these in and see what it wants. What do you want from me? My lips are dry. It is very dry right now. We are having a terribly dry spring here in Oregon. It's not hot right now. It's like 60 degrees, but it has been painfully dry, which is like on eastern Oregon that's pretty normal, but I mean I'm on western Oregon where it rains a lot. It's supposed to rain a lot, and it hasn't been. So all of our poor plants have had to water our trees and stuff because they're like dying, man. And that's not good. That's not good for crops. That's a bummersome. Okay, where wants me? Okay, wants this. Okay, so it does want me to continue the garrison quest. Wasn't sure if it was gonna want me to do that or not. I usually do this anyway. Like when I tested the intro, as you'll see when I do the WOD video later with my results, I do the garrison intro stuff, this stuff here, which unlocks it because that's an extra like 2 levels or whatever, in the 10 levels range that is, on top of the couple that you get out of the WOD intro itself. So, you know, it's good to have your garrison unlocked anyways. Might want it in the future because it's still useful. Let's go to Kiana. Alright. Go south. Okay. I wonder if they can't do markers inside the garrison or something, and that's why it's not working. And they're giving, like, directions instead. Whatever. Do I need to change anything with this? It feels off. It doesn't feel like it's very useful. It keeps saying custom path, even though I hit speedrun. I don't want custom, I want speedrun. Or maybe that's just what it says by default. I don't know. Hope I didn't mess it up. As I noticed, I'm sure like you just saw there, there was 2 options when you, for questing. Speedrun and then custom. I don't know what custom is. That's new compared to last time I used it. There wasn't those options. And obviously, for this sake of this testing, hello Kiana, I want speedruns. Because that's what I'm testing for. So hopefully it's giving me the speedrun route because it didn't change it, but it still says custom. A little concerned. Really? It wants us to do Starfall? Ugh, I hate these quests. Okay, fine. 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 We'll do the Starfall stuff. It's not a big deal. Pick up quest. Yeah, okay. Really wants us to do Starfall. Interesting, even before we finish the garrison, so that's a little odd. Should I go turn that in? Or should I... No, I'll stick to the green dots. I'll stick to this because I should. I'm gonna try to just not deviate. I'm gonna try to do what it says because I don't know. I mean, I know what I know, but I don't know what it knows. So where is it? Oh, I bet it wants us to pick up that quest over here for the... And my nose, a little runny. Dry weather makes my nose run, man. Yeah, this is for that mob up there. So we will go up there and myrtleize it, maybe. The green dots are pointing away. Should I go? Okay, well, okay, I'll stick to what it says. We should do that. And if we're over here, we should do that bonus objective too first, and then go do these quests. That's a little out of... That's not very efficient. What's going on here? Whatever. Let's do what it says. I'm not trying to tear apart AAP, I promise. Like, I don't hate it by any stretch. I'm used to how I quest. If you're next to something, you do it. You know? If you know it's decent. Like, I was over there, I should have went and killed that thing and then done the bonus objective and then come over here. Because I bet you it's going to send me back over there after this, and that's why it made me pick up that quest. But that doesn't seem very efficient because now I have to go back. I don't know, whatever. Interesting. I guess we'll do this quest. I wasn't expecting to do anything in Shadowmoon Valley. Shadowmoon Valley's not that great. I have done Shadowmoon and Frostfire. Like, I'm like between a quarter and a half done with my Warlords of Draenor testing before I got frustrated with it. Because I have to do all the zones so many stinking times. Different ways. And I have already done these 2 zones. Including Gorgrund. I've already done Gorgrund in its various ways, except for the treasures. I haven't done treasures in Gorgrund yet, specifically. But Shadowmoon Valley is not great. Like, it's a little slow. Like, I think it averaged out to like 10 minutes per level, which in this level range is not in my preferred time because there are areas where I can do better. And that's not including the intro, mind you. Like, that's like 6 or 8 or something, which is really good. But, you know, if you're gonna go do the intro, doing the intro and then doing something else with it would make more sense instead of doing the intro and then hearthing and leaving. I mean, you could do that, but it seems a little silly to me when it's, you know, if you're not gonna use it. Because, like, especially if you're gonna use it, like, in the later levels, you'll only get, like, 2, maybe 3 levels out of the Garrison intro and the WAD intro. And then it's just not worth it at that point, because it's the same time, but I don't know, it's whatever. I can't show you my results for all that just yet, but you'll see them. You will. Where are we going here? Oh, it wants to turn the quest in. But we didn't do the other one yet. Where are you taking me? Why are we doing it in this funky order? What is going on? Whatever. I gotta stop questioning it. I'm used to being independent. Now I have to have it hold my hand, and I don't like it. I don't want to hold my hand. Or I don't want it to hold my hand. I don't want to hold my own hand. Oh, now you want me to go over and get the stinger? Really? Really? Seeing a little bit of a continuity error here. We should have done that and the bonus objective first. Or last. Like on a half moon instead of a zigzag type of path. Whatever. I didn't make the add-on. I'm just gonna follow what it says and see where it puts us. When we hit an hour, when we hit the end of this episode, because I'm probably gonna do an hour-ish for this specific episode, we'll see where it puts me. But I've only gone, let's see, I basically started at 11 because I was almost 11 and I hit 11 before I came into the intro. So I'm going to say 11 because that wouldn't be fair to say 10. 11 to 18, that's 7. And how long has it been going? Like, not great, actually. Interesting. Interesting indeed. And I know I keep pausing between these, that's probably not helping my time, but I'm trying to be efficient about this. That's why I'm questioning it. I'm like, wait, but I should. Alright, oh yeah, now it wants me to do the bonus objective. I knew it would want me to do that, because there's a quest in there too. Because this one's a good one. That doesn't seem very efficient, but alright, that's fine, whatever. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to complain, I promise. I'm just curious why this is in this order. That just doesn't seem... Really? Just slap me? Fine. Oy vey. Bugs! You prevented me from getting my mushroom. Rude. I'll send you back to your mother. Bad little bugs. Pick up quest. Now I'll get my mushroom. Sheesh. And it wants me to go this way. Hello, sir. I'll be murdering you now. Oh. Interesting. I wonder how much of Shadow Moon it's gonna have us do. Interesting. Hopefully just Starfall, because the rest of Shadow Moon's not great. It's not telling me to get this treasure, but I'm gonna get it anyways. Big mushrooms before he gets here. There we go. Good. Good. Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't want us to do anything else other than Starfall and then the Garrison intro, because Shadow Moon's not great. Like, I even did it a couple times and in different sections of it to try to get faster than the 10. And even at if I dropped it down to 9 minutes per level, it's still not great for this level range because there are other zones that are a lot better. Which is interesting. I wonder if it's gonna make us level through WoD for the entire 50. Oh, I hope not. That's... Well, we'll find out. I can't complain. I know I keep trying to make predictions here, but that's just because I've been doing a lot of leveling, so I'm lubed up, if you will. The leveling machine has, you know, it's in proper order for me now. I was a little rusty at the beginning, so I might redo on my own time. I mean, this is all on my own time, but I might redo a few of the early zones, because I know I could do better. Just for my own sanity. Just to see if, you know, now that I'm back in the swing of things, if they're a little better, but interesting. Get that guy. Doesn't want me to get the rare? Okay, no rare. That's fine. No rare. I'll come get him later. I like, in case you're curious why I mentioned that rare there, Gollum or whatever his name is. That's who he was a spoof off of. drops a ring that you can only get once, so do not delete it or sell it if you get the ring off of that rare over there. It's a ring that it costs like 30% or something of your health when you use it, but it drops combat. Now they nerfed it ages ago, so you can't use it in instances. I used to use it a lot in instances, and they changed it. But you can use it in open world at any level. So like if you're out in Shadowlands, for example, and Revendreth being chased by everything, you can, if you have the ring already on, because you can't change equipment in combat, which is a bummer, besides your weapon. Gorham, that's his name, the thing popped up over there. Anyway, you can drop combat if you needed to, which is really nice for classes that can't do it. I don't use it as much as I used to, just because running around with it constantly on at that high of a level is, you know, it's really low level and it doesn't scale. It's not an heirloom or something. It's you know, it's not entirely optimal, but whatever. It's there. You know about it now. You're welcome. Alright, now it wants us to go do those quests, and we still haven't gone back to turn on our garrison stuff. My OCD is kicking in, man. I'm like, this is out of order, and it's annoying me. Whatever. It's fine. It's not... It's fine. I didn't make this route. I'm just following it just to see what the results are. For all I know, it could actually be better than my own. I don't know. We'll find. We're actually quite a bit behind where I usually am at this point. But that's fine. So keep on trudging on. On a completely different note, not related to WoW though, I recently just watched a Let's Play of Detroit Become Human, which was a super impressive game. I watched Jacksepticeye play it, if you're curious. 10/10 recommend. Yeah, it's a few years old now, like 3. Came out in 2018. But I haven't kept up with a lot of like regular games, listen to me. Non-WoW games. In a few years, because I've been in college. Like, it sounds funny, but I used to be mainly a console gamer until I started college, and I didn't have the time or the money for all that stuff because it's expensive. You know, you get a console game, and unless you like replaying it a lot, it's kind of a one and done scenario for like $60 or more if you buy it new. And that's expensive, you know, every time you want to play it for like a few hours of gameplay. That kind of sucks. So it was actually cheaper for me to stick with WoW because there was always something new for me to do. Something for me to farm or grind or collect. And I just pay the sub every month, which was cheaper than all the games I would have bought. So because of that, it was better for me to do WoW than console games. But now that I have officially graduated, and I am done with college for a very long time, if not forever, I've been looking into other games again because I'm gonna kick up my other channels soon for non-WoW Let's Plays, which I'm really looking forward to. It's gonna be interesting. And no, I'm not gonna promote it besides like a couple times on this channel because I want to keep them separate. I want to build that own channel on its own merit as much as I can. Like, I know it was already the Latte and Tea channel, but you know, that channel was already monetized, and I didn't want to lose that. There's no sense in losing that after earning it, starting over. So I just converted that channel. But anyways, so I've been looking into other games again. I mean, it's not like I haven't played other games, but I started WoW in 2013, and that's when I made this decision because that's when I started college. So I haven't played a lot of other games since 2013. Yes, I have missed out on a lot. No, I've not played God of War. I love it, but I haven't played it. No, I've not played the new Devil May Cry. I bought it because it's my favorite series ever, but I haven't played it. No, I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3, even though I really want to. I bought it. I have it now. So, lots of things that I really, really want to play because I have lots of games to catch up on from 2013. I still love WoW. Don't think that I'm not, that I'm going to stop playing it or something. I'm still playing it, obviously. I'm playing it right now. And I'm still going to, keep this channel going, of course. But I've got a lot of games that I'm really excited for, and Detroit Become Human was amazing. I loved watching it, and it's a choice-based game where your choices matter. I love games like that because then you want to replay it a few times. Like sometimes when I watch a Let's Play of someone, and they complete the whole game, I don't usually go get the game myself just because I've already seen the story and I know what it's like now. But that one, he made choices that I wouldn't have made. And I'm like, oh, I want to see what would have happened because it totally changes the outcomes. And so I bought it. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to do it my way. I'm so excited here. Alright, time to... Let's focus here. Sploosh the demon. Power of Elune compel you! Power of Elune compel you! I have to say, this quest right here cracks me up because... Can we just say, at least I feel like the demons of World of Warcraft feel more like aliens. Because they really are, if you think about it. They come from space. They are not from this planet. Whereas, demons of our world, our mythical fantasy world, of the human land, if you want to call it, of Earth, they're different. They're spooky and evil and creepy, and these are too, but they just feel different to me. So this specific quest right here, where I gotta compel information out of them using Elune blessed water and reading an Elune blessed incantation, cracks me up because it's more akin to something we would do in an exorcism for a human Earth-based game with demons in it. And does it really want me to do these quests? Let me delete these real quick here. Sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt myself, but I'm making sure that it actually wants me to... Yeah, error missing quest. Okay, we'll continue then. That's fine. We'll just keep going, I guess. Follow the green dots. Those green dots are very nice, by the way. They're nice to try to follow. And I like that it works with TomTom and gives you an arrow. So, anyways, yeah, that demon quest always cracked me up because it's so different to normal World of Warcraft demons. Demon aliens. Think about it. They come in on ships and they come from space. And they use engines and soul engines and technology and things that you'd see from Halo or something. So they never felt like demons to me. That's probably just me, but they be aliens, man. Mon. Aliens. Alright, let's just do kill it works and get shards. I can do that. I can do that. Man, we are... Was it an hour now? Looks like it's been an hour now. And I'm still only 19. I've only gotten 8 levels in an hour. Which is not great for this level range. I can do a lot better. Both Horde and Alliance. So that's interesting. Interesting indeed. But that's fine. I'm gonna have to look at this 2 different ways. That's why I keep comparing it here. I'm gonna compare it in the level brackets that I have broken up on my end. The level per minute there, and then overall, of course, because that also plays a big factor. Maybe a couple of the brackets are slow here, but overall it's better. I don't know. I'm gonna try to give it the benefit of the doubt here. I didn't make the add-on. I'm not a crazy, super insane speed leveler. So, I mean, I'm no scrub, I'll give myself that, but I'm not gonna pat myself on the back and say I'm the best leveler ever, just because I do it all the time. So. And for those of you that are still with me at this point, I counted my alts the other day, and I've added a few more since then, but I'm like at 160 something? And people are like, well, why do you have so many now? Didn't you already have a whole bunch? I'm like, well, yeah, I did, but remember, I had to do all this leveling testing. And when all my characters are already level 50 and some level 60, I can't exactly go test the level 10's range in old content. I had to make new characters. So I fired up a couple of other accounts and shut down the other two, I mean two, for a while. So I could do this. Because, yeah, it's a lot of characters, which is fine. More characters, the merrier, I suppose. Don't have any problem with it. So it's not a complaint. It's totally fine with me. I don't mind. I like having variety anyways. And I needed to do the Stay Classy achievement anyways. And I'm doing it all basically by myself. Because it's they're my own guilds. And Silver has stopped playing, and I don't know when or if she'll be back, because she hasn't played since January. Yeah, but that's fine because they're both my guilds. I have a Horde and an Alliance guild that I have all my alts in. And so I need to do, you know, if I do the Stay Classy achievement, I either need to do it myself or I pay people to join the guild, get the rep at the right level, and then leave. Which, that seems like a waste of gold to me when I could just make my own alts and use them for the Stay Classy and also the leveling testing as well. So, win-win for me. That's fine. Gives me something to do anyways. Something to work forward to. So I know, you know, my recent content going over the results of these hasn't been that exciting, but it's literally all I've been doing. This leveling testing takes up a lot of time. You know, like Outland, for example, has taken me forever because each zone takes 3 to 5 hours to complete. 3 to 5 hours. Ugh. And the results are actually quite terrible. Like, I'm not pleased with Outland's results. I knew I wouldn't be, but dang, even Zangamar sucks now. Which is fine. I kind of didn't want to have to go use it again anyways, but boo, you know? Boo. Anyway. Let's see, we're getting close here to the end. I think I'll probably slap these Talk to Khadgar and then call it a day for this particular episode. So I got other things I need to get to. I still have Outland to finish. Yeah, we're definitely behind where I wanted to be, but I think I'll call it here. So, thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's never too latte. Hi y'all, Kraken Latte here. So, welcome to part 2 of my Azeroth Auto Pilot test. Let's get right into it here. We are picking up exactly where we left off from last time. Almost exactly, anyways. I attempted this just a second ago and lagged out and died. So, I've been having some interesting internet troubles today. The joys of living in backwater woods, if you will. And, yeah, there we go. Likes to, when I DC, it likes to turn off all some of my settings for some reason. I don't know why, it's a little strange. But that's just part of it. Alright, so we are getting back into the thick of it. Welcome back, everyone, to my rambly video of leveling with Azeroth Auto Pilot test. So we're gonna see just how it gets us to, you know, level this time. I'm predicting it's probably going to send us to Gorgrond soon, since that is the cream of the crop of the Warlords of Draenor stuff, quote unquote, if you will. So yeah, that's how it's going. So how's it been for you? It's been fine for me. I'm not recording these episodes back to back because I am eyebrow deep in trying to get the leveling testing done. I'm in the middle of Northrend right now. Really? You gonna run off like that? Alright, fine then. Be that way. So it's been a week since I picked this up. Not that that's a problem or anything. I mean, leveling comes pretty natural to me. So, you know. Yeah. So how's your week? How's everyone been over this last week? I heard it's been hot in some parts of the US and probably elsewhere too. I imagine it's always hot somewhere if you think about it. It's only been in the 60s and 70s here. Our weird initial heat wave a few weeks ago now was only a few days, luckily. Which, you know, and we got some rain. Finally, it rained pretty heavily for like 3 or 4 days, which was good because hot dang, my poor trees are drying out. I live up on a mountain somewhere, and I have a lot of trees that I take care of for both lumber and fruit. And it's been dry. It's been dry. My little chickies and duckies are all grown up now. It only takes a few months for them. In case you all were curious if you'd seen any of those photos that I'd posted a while back when I got them. Guldad. Hey, Guldad. It's a Guldad, my favorite bad orc. He's a naughty orc. Right. That's right. We're not actually fighting him. He doesn't do that. The only time, you know, if you think about it, you only fight Gul'dan once in the whole game. Right? It's just in the raid. Because every other time he's like this. He's all just like, oh, you can't fight me. I'm too cool for that. You plebs. I don't know. I like Gul'dan for some reason. Where are you going, Rizin? Oh, he's doing his thing. Whatever. Anyway. So, yeah. Back in the game. So why don't we talk about something controversial? For fun, right? It's not controversial to me, but it is to some people for some reason. Heard a lot of people are dropping a WoW for Final Fantasy XIV. Cool. I mean, I've been asked my opinion on that or why I haven't done that a few times already, and I'm like, well, it's not really my thing. I kind of prefer WoW. I've played 14 before, Final Fantasy 14, when it first came out, and then after they redid it, you know, the Reborn, whatever it was. But the storytelling is different. It's just not my cup of tea. It's more RPG, put it that way, which I do like. But I like RPGs as a single player. Probably should use glider there. Oh well, whatever. I like RPGs as a single player game. I'm not really into like multiplayer RPGs. Now that sounds funny because I'm playing World of Warcraft, but it's not a person. It's a person. Hi person. Really am like a Worgen. Person, people. Woof woof. Anyways, if I want to play like a good story deep RPG, like a real RP, I'm probably gonna play it solo. I'm not into like playing RP with other people's. Even in WoW, I don't RP with other people. I only play with RP with one person. That's my bestie. And when she's taking a break, like she is right now, I don't RP with other people. Spoilers. So there's that. But I'm not really into MMOs. No, that sounds funny again. Is it sending me over there? Sorry to interrupt myself, but it's still not sending me back to the garrison because I can ride now. It's telling me I can go pick up journeyman riding, but it's not telling me to. It just says that I can. Well, whatever. Maybe it wants me to do a couple quests out here and then it'll send me back to Stormwind. That's fine. Just keep following the green dots. Be like a good little player and do as I'm told. That's fine. Ooh, it wants me to kill Kurat. He's kind of hard. That's fine. Whatever. I'm big strong warrior. Anyways, yeah. What are your thoughts on people dropping WoW for Final Fantasy XIV? Personally, I don't care. It's a game. People can play what they want. You know, that's why there's so many games out there. There's just as many games as types as there are personalities in the world, really. People are gonna play what they want. I like playing WoW as a solo. I don't play it as an MMO. I don't really do a lot of group content, for those of you that know me. Where'd my armor go? Naked. Hey. He must have disarmored me or something. Oh, there it is. Ooh, this guy's got some health. Yikes. Anyway, I don't care that people are... Uh-oh, lag. Uh-oh, lag. No. Come on, I just fixed it earlier. Dang internet. There we go. Okay. Whew. My internet, man. It's been on the fritz lately, and it's impeding my work. It's the only thing that infuriates me is when the internet that I pay out the anus for does not work. Oh, I can't wait for Starlink. Come soon, please. Oh dear. I can kill him, right? Come on. Almost. Yes. Cool. Anyways. Over here? Really? Okay. Whatever. People are gonna play what people are gonna play. And, you know, I've been asked for my opinion on it a few times, and I don't care. Frankly. It doesn't bother me that people want to go play another game. I mean, this isn't a... You know, no one's holding a gun to your head, I hope, telling you to play only WoW. I just tend to play only WoW as the only MMO that I play. It's not the only game I play. I play lots of other games. But it's the only MMO I play just because I feel like it has the most... One, backlog of content that I can go do. And two, it has the most single-player content. Now that sounds funny, but if you really think about all the stuff you can do as a solo player, I mean, I've been playing this for many years, and I'm still playing it fairly solo. There's a lot. And, yeah. Grab a quick sip. No coffee at the moment because it's later in the evening and I don't want to be awake all night, so I got some iced tea. Anywho's, so, yeah. I mean, it's not a super deep dive on my opinion, I guess, but that is my opinion. It's not super deep. I just play what you want. Is it still not wanting me to go turn in the garrison quest? Wants me to go down here. Are we really doing more of Shadowmoon Valley? I'm shocked. You can technically go to Gorgrond at 15. So I'm a little surprised it didn't want me to go there immediately. Because from what I've tested already, generally speaking, the longer... Some zones, I'll put it this way, I'm kind of having a hard time coming up with this on the spot. Some zones are better if you do them earlier because they don't, well, man, now I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. Where am I going here? Wants me to go this way? Oh, it wants me to take me to the orc chickies. Okay. Anyways, the longer you stay away from a certain zone that you can enter early, the less XP you're gonna get later. I know that sounds a little weird, but like the example here is Gorgrond. Since you can go there at 15, it's often better, I've found, to go to zones earlier in your leveling rather than later, because you will get more out of it, because they're designed for those lower levels. And so, you know, they're easier to get around. They're, I don't know if it wanted to pick... Yeah, well, okay. Wanted me to pick these up. Still not going back to the garrison, I guess. That's fine. That's fine, whatever. I'm not gonna pick on it. Just accept the flow. Be one with the game. Anyways, what was I even talking about? Oh, am I going the right way? I am getting very distracted. I am very distracted today. My day has been all sorts of frazzled. Anyways, wow. How do you guys listen to me? Anyways, so, yeah, I find that earlier zones that if you can go to a zone earlier, usually better. Not always, as early as possible, and of course there's always exceptions to this rule. But I found I had better results out of Gorgrund when I went there at 20 than when I went there at 30 and 40. You'll see those results when I do that video. I'm doing Northrend first. I'm going to try to put that out this week. Like, I could just, chill out and slow down a little bit, but it's taken so long. Like, it's not like I'm burnt out or anything, but I want to move on to other things. I have, like, what you don't see, I have a huge list of all these different things I want to get to, like how to make RP characters, doing more stuff with your alt armies. I want to do the 50 to 60 leveling guide too, which I'm kind of, my goal to get the 1 to 50 guide out is to do it before 9.1 comes out, but that time is fast approaching. And I know I only have 2 continents left. I just have, come on, lag. Don't do this to me. There it goes. I have Northrend and Draenor left, but Northrend's long. Not as long as Outland. The zones are not, well, yes and no. Some are and some aren't. It's a little more forgiving than Outland was. But then there's Draenor, which I'm like a quarter to the halfway done with it, but it's been the most grueling process because I'm trying to do all these different variations on it, because trying to see what I can squeeze out of Draenor, because everyone claims Draenor is the best. I happen to disagree from experience, even with the testing that I have done now. But I will be happily proven wrong if I see otherwise. I'm not a prideful sort. If, that's why I'm testing all of this. If I find something better, then it's better. But I'm also trying to keep it simple. Like that old saying, the kiss, keep it simple, stupid. I find that guides that are simpler do better, which is fine. I'm like, that's no knock on you guys or anything. It's just if it's easier to grasp and you can remember it without having to refer to a lot, it's probably better. May not be better in terms of speed. Like, now that's the thing. That's where I have to walk that fine line of simplicity versus optimism, because I'm not going full hog optimism like, some might, where they're juicing every little bit of XP along the way out of certain things to be able to get that extra 5 minutes of time, cut off of their thing. But on the other hand, I don't want to take so long, that it's silly, when you could just leave and do this other thing 10 times as fast. Like, Stormsong Valley, for example, is a very, very good example in this case. You can go there as Alliance at level 35. And if you've seen the Colteris and Zandalar episode part 1, you'll know that there's so much there in that zone. You can be there from 35 to 50, and then some, if it let you. Like, you won't get much out of it if you stay there after 50, but still, there's a lot of XP there. But that zone takes like 3 to 4 hours, depending on how much you do. And that's a long time for just that range, where, I have, I think, 2 hours, 2.5. So a little less, like, at least half an hour less. Least less. Wow, I can't talk today. on my current route, which I'm not entirely happy with the later stuff on my current route that I have. But, you know, work in progress. But anyways, my point is, yeah, I gotta walk that line between simplicity, because remember what I've mentioned before, going down to Imbari Village, we're still not going back to the garrison. It still doesn't want me to pick up writing and turn on war mode. Yeah, I see it mentions it up there, but it hasn't explicitly told me to go do it. It's fine. I'll trug on a little bit longer. If it doesn't tell me to go grab writing soon, like, you know, officially, then I'm just gonna go do it myself. Anyways. Yeah, so, you know, I'm trying to keep it simple, because this is a guide for me as much as it is for you. This, like how I titled my original ones, this is how I level 1 to 120. Which is exactly how the new ones are going to be titled. How I level 1 to 50, 1 to 60, whatever. Because it's going to be my route that I am personally using. And if I am not satisfied with it, why would I, you know, say that you should use it? That doesn't sound like a very good salesman to me. Not that I'm trying to sell you anything necessarily, but, you know, this is for me as much as it is for you. So, where are we headed now? Down there? Around there? Going up to the top, it looks like? I'm at a flight point. It's still not telling me to go get my writing. I'm gonna go get my writing. I'm gonna see if it wants me to turn on war mode when I get there, because it has not officially told me to go get it. It just says, you can now learn writing. But, you know, you have to go all the way back to Stormwind or Orgrimmar for that. Interesting. Not loading. There we go. Right. We're in the Dwarven District. I do not like that like, when I'm not leveling, I prefer my hearth in the Dwarven District, because it's quieter over there, because I play on full pop servers that are thick with people sometimes. A lot of the times. But when I am leveling, I definitely want my hearth over at the trade district, because it's closest to the portals and the writing trainer, and there's a bank and an auction house right there as well, plus, you know, mailboxes and stuff. So a little funny that they wanted us to set the hearth over there, because now I gotta ride all the way over here every time I want to go get my next license. Whatever, not gonna complain. Anyways, so, the guide. It's just as much for me as it is for you. So, because it's once, you know, I want to be happy with it. It's not going to do a route that I'm like, okay, that was crappy. Now time to do it my way. You see what I'm saying there? Like, doing a secret route. Because there's no secret to how I level I quest. It's just finding the right quests. Is it really not telling me to turn on war mode? And the thing didn't disappear. Well, I'll leave war mode off to see if it tells me later. Maybe it's got a plan. I hope I didn't mess anything up. But not having my fastest writing at least was, you know, annoying me. And now it's gone. It's not equipped for war mode, maybe. And it doesn't want me to turn in Kiana's quest yet. Okay. Whatever, let's just continue. Imbari Village, there we go. I'm not gonna knock it until the end here. See if it picks up a little bit. Anywho, so, you know, I'm trying to get the guide as, like, efficient but simple, because I'm not trying to do the fastest time ever. I'm trying to do what I mentally call the fastest time realistically. Something that you can easily be like, oh, I go do this zone, this scenario, that zone, maybe less than that, and bam, I'm 50. You know, easy peasy. And I'm also basing it around when you need to pick up your writing licenses, flight licenses, turn on war mode, because I do, even though I didn't do it here, I try to do it pretty much as soon as possible, especially with war mode, because that's an extra 10% or more if you're Alliance. XP. It's like having the Darkmoon Fair buff on all the time. And like, you know, if you're worried about having, you know, people come attack you, I don't have that much of a problem in old world stuff. Now, if we're talking current expansion, yeah, I turn war mode off because that's a death sentence. I mean, every time I turn it on and walk around in the world to do a world quest, I get hounded by like 30 people trying to murder my face. You know, unless that's your thing. But, where are we going now? Oh, it wants us to go do this. Okay, that's fine. Do the bonus objectives, I guess. That's what it wants. That's fine. That's fine. But anywho. So, you know, that's another thing too. While I am testing for the best zones with war mode, I am also not, you know, bringing it down to the wire to where you should hopefully squeak by and get this exact amount of XP out of this zone, which, you know, requires war mode because it still wants the quest. Oh, it probably wants the Elec quest. That's probably what it wants for the meat. That one's a little slow, but whatever. We'll keep soldiering on here. Anywho's, yeah, I want to, you know, make it simple. This is pretty much my point there. Something that I don't mind repeating. Oh, and the war mode thing, right? I have it in mind that's not everyone's gonna want to use war mode, and I get it. I totally get it. Maybe you're on a server that's just full of jerkholes that just roam around and destroy lower level people for some reason. I don't know. Although that's a little harder to do with Chromie time because it does phase you out differently than, you know, non-Chromie time. It's a different phase. But anywho, yeah, so I'm keeping that in mind. So like, that's why well, my times are specific. I'm sure you've seen like, you know, 277 minutes, not 280. But my levels I round up or round down. Like, if I'm 38.8, I'm 80% of the way through 38, and I'm almost 39. I don't round up. That's 38. Like, so there is a ton of wiggle room. I'm making sure of that because there's always factors. Maybe, you know, 30% of that level was actually because of rested. Maybe I found a treasure or two. Maybe I hit a couple of rares. You know, those give some decent chunks in older expansions, at least, not necessarily in Mop Plus. But you know, I'm making sure that whatever your case, you're gonna get what you get out of my guide. What I'm saying you're gonna get, at least to the best of my ability here. You know, I don't want people being all like, "Oh, I did your guide, but I'm like 3 levels short. Is it because I didn't use war mode?" That's not cool. That wouldn't be cool of me. So I shouldn't expect people to do, you know, certain things. I'm just making a path. And then, you know, it's what I'm gonna follow, and you can follow it if you want. So, enough on that though. Lots of Alex here. I'm kind of surprised. I'm like surprised but not surprised that it wants me to go around Shadowmoon Valley, and I'm going to assume that's what it's having me do, and doing all the little extra wanted and side quests as well as the bonus objectives, because at least on Alliance we have 4 bonus objectives here. 4 or 5, I think it's 4. Yeah, it's a good amount of XP, especially in the lower levels here. I would recommend having war mode on for that, because that's an extra 10%. Because war mode's 10% at minimum, you know, for both factions. Alliance usually has a little bit more, but that's fine. It counts for everything. It's like the Darkmoon Fair buff. These bonus objectives, you'll get 10% more XP. So, you know... Uh-oh, what's going on here? Lag. Come on. There we go. So, you know, I would have gone and turned on war mode before doing the bonus objectives to get the most out of them, because like quests, they're one and done. I mean, you know, once you do it, that's it for that character, unless you do some crazy, you know, second account phasing trick that makes you lets you redo it every 24 hours with party sync. That's just too much work. Like, I know some hacky ways, if you will, to level, but I'm lazy. I just want to go to the zone, and this is what I'm gonna get out of it, and then I'm done. Like that's, I don't want to have to think about it, if you will. I enjoy leveling when I don't have to think about it, or if I want to stop and ponder, you know, something. My time isn't like critical. I like the lazy leveling, if you will. Now that's my version of lazy. Like, some people look at questing and be like, ugh, I have to think about it, but I've been doing it for so long. My map is in my peripheral constantly, and I just watched where the arrow was pointing. I watch where my mobs are with my left eye. And I just hit the buttons in the rotation that I instinctively kind of know as they come off cooldown. Like, no secret there. So, that's my top tier pro playing, you know. Real pro there. Not that I'm trying to be pro. I literally don't care. I'm not trying to be the best or the most popular. I just play to have fun. So, and I'm sharing my journey with you. So, yay, 22! Woo. Look at that. We're getting there slowly. A little slower than I'd like, but that's okay. That's okay. Oh no! What's going on? Son of a... And we're back! Oh, and I'm dying. Okay, I didn't despawn out of the world. Yay, DCs. I don't know what that was about. Oy vey. And it turned off all my nameplates again. It's been doing that lately, and I don't appreciate it. It's a good thing Warriors got decent self-heal when it comes to murder and shit. Yikes. Okay, I'm back! Welcome back. I know that was probably like half a second for you, but it was a good like 10 minutes for me, because my internet was like, nope. Alright, anyway, back to what we were doing here. Hot diggity. Whew. Okay. Murder things, murder things, murder things. I need Kaleri, Planestalkers, and Alex. Right. Okay. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Because it was a while ago now. I've been fighting with my internet. Whatever it was, probably was boring. So you know what? Let's talk about something else. What do we want to talk about? Because I'll be honest with you, I'm still a little new to this whole... See, I don't need clear anymore. Solo Let's Play. So, this is kind of like practice for me. So you all here in the early stages with me get to see me practice. See me learn how to talk to myself, carry on a conversation, which I can talk to myself all day long, but it's just a matter of not mumbling and keeping things interesting. 'Cause, like, you know, I could just sit here in silence, but that'd be really boring. In fact, when I usually play by myself, that's what I do all day. Like, I just sit in silence and watch other YouTubers on my other screen while I level. Like right now, I've been rocking through Game Grumps' Paper Mario 1000 Your Door Let's Play, because it's got like some, I don't know, 100 episodes or whatever, while I've been doing Northrend. I just listen and laugh to them while I just go ham on Northrend quests. So, there you go. I mean, that's why I'm like, yeah, I may or may not stream when I have the ability to. Like, I might, but it won't be scheduled. So those of you that are actually watching me right now will know. I probably will stream, but it won't be scheduled because I'm a very... I don't want to say I'm spontaneous, because like on one hand I'm spontaneous, but on the other hand I'm very structured. the stuff I produce and create, I'm very structured with it. I get very upset when I can't do it on the days that I've set for myself. And sometimes it happens, and I just have to get over it. But on something like a stream, in my mind, that's group content. Because it is. You know, I'm playing and talking to other people live. Streamed a few times using friends' internets, and none of them are able to right now, which is probably why I'm not streaming anymore for now, because I can't stream with my own internet. Or it would be... Well, I'm physically unable to. My internet would literally shut down. I've tried. It is unable to do that. I can't even watch streams, but that's fine. Kind of not into watching streams anyways. Sometimes when people I watch on YouTube post VODs, I'm just not into them myself. I like the YouTube version where it is just them, because I feel like it's more... I don't know. I don't want to say scripted. I don't know. It just feels more genuine to me when it's not streaming. I think my dots are messed up. Where do I need to go? It's my arrow. I've got the arrow. The arrow's correct. Okay. Yeah. Big map's dots are correct. My mini map's dots are probably confused because of my lovely disconnect. Whatever. At any rate. So. Yeah. I want to stream. There's a flight point right there. Let's get that. But it'll be definitely spontaneous. Like, it's not going to be my focus because it's not that appealing to me. But every once in a while, I want to. So that's probably what it's going to look like when I can do that eventually someday. But we'll see. I might be so preoccupied with doing other things that I won't have time. And I'm trying to get my second channel set up, but one, my camera still hasn't come in yet. But it's kind of fine though, because I need to reload here. It's those dots. I need those dots. Anyway, my non-WoW Let's Play channel, I haven't 100%, like, it's ready for me to start, but I don't have a camera, first of all, and I don't want to use this one. I'm just going to keep this one where it is because it can't handle a lot of movement. Like, when I'm just sitting here talking, it's not a big deal, but I start doing like this, you notice that it's only putting out at 30 FPS, even though it says 60. It's not 60. I don't know what's up with that. I have troubleshot it. No, whatever. But I don't care. Like, I don't need big old fancy 60 FPS for this, for my WoW channel necessarily, because once a week, not a big deal. For my other one, however, I want to get something nicer, and I have one ordered, but it was backlogged, and it didn't say that. So it'll get here when it gets here, I guess. Which is fine. I'm trying to get this leveling guide stuff done. Like, you know, the videos I put out with reporting the data take no time to put together. Like, the actual recording of that takes me probably an hour, you know. The recording of the voice, I mean, the reporting. The voice, and then, is it we're doing this thing here? Oh, yeah, we'll go over here first. And, you know, recording that, putting it together, rendering it, that doesn't take very long. It doesn't even take that long to upload because it's not a very layered video. It's not jam-packed full of stuff, so they're pretty light. But the actual doing the leveling part, I record the whole thing. That's how I keep track of my time. And visually, if I want to go back and be like, did I do this quest? How long did this specific part of this set of quests take me? And what XP did I get out of it? That's also why I record it, because I can go back and look at that without interrupting my normal play during it. So that way I can be like, you know, how much did that treasure give me? I wasn't really looking. It gave me X. I have visual proof for it for myself. So, but yeah, you know, when I'm giving you those times, you know, 3 to 4 or 5 hours a zone, and then double that in a zone for like the 2 factions, you know, that's like 6 to 10 hours for one zone, you know, on the long side. That's a day or 2. You know, you don't see that back part, but it takes me a while. And that's because of that. That's all I've been doing in WoW. I haven't done anything else. Forever, like, when Silver stopped playing, I just went hardcore on the leveling guide stuff. And said, forget it, I'm not going to do anything with Shadowlands right now. Because any content really that I'd want to do and current content stuff would be with a friend. So I'm doing all the old content stuff first, which is fine because that's normally what I would do in this expansion anyways. This part of the expansion. Man, this chick's got some health. But anyway, that's normally what I would do in this first half of the expansion anyways. For those of you that might have seen how I prioritize what I do in an expansion video. For the first half of the expansion, I level stuff. I get all my characters caught up. So this is normal for me, on one hand. The reason I stopped doing like Shadowlands stuff when Silver quit was just because I actually didn't really play with Silver until Battle for Azeroth. Like, we've been friends since mid-Legion, but we didn't really do a whole lot together in Legion. We didn't level together until about BFA because we barely knew each other. We met each other like, what, after Tomb of Sargeras, so like more than half. And then we raided the Burning Throne and Taurus together, which was the last tier. Where are these eggs? These are hard to see. There's one. So, we hadn't decided to like level together or even RP together until BFA. Late Legion, and then BFA for leveling. So stuff her and I do together is relatively new, and even then we didn't level together much in the first half of BFA. It wasn't until later because, like most people, she and many others tend to not play as much. Seems to be the trend during the first half of the expansion. And then when everything is out and, you know, the new last couple tiers are here or about to come out, that's when everyone comes rushing back. And then there's me and other players like me who just play the whole time. And everyone's like, how do you have all your characters already leveled and all the reps already done? And I'm like, well, I didn't stop playing. Now, I'm not knocking on anyone that does. I don't care. It's just funny when I get asked that sometimes. I'm like, well, I didn't stop playing. That was why. Like, right now, I already have all the reps done on my main from Shadowlands. I've already done all the quests. Like, technically, I would have Pathfinder done already. Ooh, I don't want to hit that guy. That's a big boy. Not that we have Pathfinder this time around. Speaking of which, I am very glad that they clarified that we do not have to purchase the flight license once we have it unlocked for Shadowlands. Because when they'd said that, oh, it's unlocked to purchase beforehand, I don't know if, you know, how many of you saw that. I was a little miffed because everyone's like, boo, we don't want Pathfinder anymore. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Pathfinder has been super amazing for me because I do all the content I do anyways, you know, in the first part of the expansion, which is just level through all the zones at once, you know, on one character, get all the reps to Revered or Exalted, whatever, and then like a couple other small things, like a scenario or something that they usually had, and then, you know, they get the new rep when that comes out in the next patch, and then bam, you have flying. And looks like we're finally going back to turn in that quest. Good. Wait, didn't we skip a... Hey, we didn't do the other bonus objective. Really? Okay. It took me all the way over there and didn't want me to do the other bonus objective. I was literally right next. It's the spirit one with like the ghosts and the Elix and Ghost Elix rather. And it's still not telling me to turn in Kiana. It wants me to go to Gorgrand. Whatever. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just going to do it real quick because it needs to be done. That's wasted XP if I don't turn it in. That's a little odd to me. Whatever. I'm just gonna do what it says after that. I got that off my chest now. Alright, yeah. Wild Wash. I can finally take a drink. Take my hands off the thing. Ah, good old iced tea. But anywho, what was I talking about? What was I even saying? I don't know. I get distracted because I'm talking to you. Like when I'm just thinking to myself, I don't get easily distracted, but when I'm trying to play and also carry on a conversation with someone who's not talking back to me, it's really interesting. It's really interesting, so that's fine. This is good practice. That's good practice because I'm gonna need it. I want to do, you know, solo Let's Play stuff, and I don't care if anyone says I'm bad. I probably am bad. That's fine. I'm gonna get better with time, you know? So, practice. Practice, practice, practice. So, anyway, so yeah. Going to Gorgrand finally. I'm a little surprised that it wanted me to wait this long. See, I wouldn't have done the Shadow Moon Valley stuff at all. I would have just gone... After setting up the garrison, I would have finished that. And then I would have immediately gone to Gorgrand. Because I would... You get the most XP out of it. So that's interesting. Interesting indeed. Well, at least Alliance gets a flight path up here, though. Horde doesn't. Horde has to ride their bums all the way over from their garrison into Gorgrand. Like, I can see why we have a flight path as Alliance, obviously, because you have to cross, like, 2 other zones, whereas the Horde doesn't. They're right next to Gorgrand. So I get it, but still. Because of that, ironically, it's faster for Alliance to get down here. Alright, time to do this stuff. We're not going to Talador. Hopefully. We're doing Gorgrand stuff. Gorgrand. What are we at now? 45 some odd minutes? And I'm only 23. Okay. I'm looking a little suspicioso. Whatever. I'll keep going. I'll keep following it. So, anywho's. Yes. So doing all this is good practice for me. And then, because then I can look back at my editing and my recording and be all like, you know what? I need to stop pausing, or I need to stop saying, That's one of my things, because go, I need to work on some things, or I need to speak up more. I tend to mumble when I'm not sure what to say. I kind of like this, because I'm used to talking to myself. And yes, I am talking to myself, but I'm talking to myself with people that need to hear me, if that makes sense. Because all of you lovelies out there need to hear what I am saying. And, yeah. Because I'm not reading off of a script. I don't have that problem when I'm reading a script, because I write scripts for all of my guides, with the exception of the leveling report zone stuff that I've been doing, the leveling research. That's not been scripted. I do all the zones. I have the data in front of me, like, the results, and then I just give you the results and talk about it. What comes to mind. semi-unscripted, basically unscripted, unless I have something I need to... I don't need any more of those. Down to the hole we go. But, yeah, so those have been good practice for me to do unscripted. I'm getting better at unscripted stuff. I still prefer scripted stuff because I read better than I speak, if that makes sense. Like, I speak fine if I'm reading, because I'm very good at reading to people. But just coming up, you know, carrying conversation on the fly with someone who's not talking back to me is interesting. Very interesting indeed. This guy. There we go. He's got some health too. Yeesh. But, yeah, so, you know, like that right there. The, pause and, but, I need to work on that. I mean, I don't want to just, like, spew words at you constantly, but it is kind of a stream of consciousness, but I need to work on my stream of consciousness, if that makes sense. Because, you know, I want to try to be interesting. And I'm not very expressive naturally as a person. I'm usually, you know, very straight-faced, and I tend to be very quiet. It's pretty rare when I get super visually excited over things, even though I'm internally like, yay, I'm so excited, but, you know. So, that's going to be something I work on, because it's, you know, down to the reality of it here. I am putting on a show. You people are listening to me, and you're taking the time to listen to me, if you are right now. And I want to make it interesting for you, and for myself. I don't want to have to cringe every time I listen to myself, you know? I've gotten better about that. That is certainly something, like, when you start a YouTube channel, you can't have thin skin. Or if you do, oh good, it wants me to do this. Bonus objective first. Good, good, good. So it's like the first good thing it's done. Anyway, you know, when you start a YouTube channel, you might be a little thin-skinned, but you can't take what people say too seriously. Like, I'll put it this way, you take what they say seriously, but you take it with a grain of salt. Because some people will sing your praises even when you're wrong, and some people will put you down even when it's like the weirdest thing to put you down about. Like, I've seen some crazy stuff people have argued over in some of the comments, and it's like, I know that's just how the internet works, but it's like, okay, but what does that have to do with the video? You know what I mean? Not that I care too much, because regardless of what people say in a comment, even if it's hating on other people in the comments, the algorithm sees activity, and that's a bonus. That's why it's funny, like, I've noticed I consistently have, like, 2 to 4-ish dislikes on almost all of my videos. I think there's just, like, a small group of people that hate my guts for some reason. Not quite sure why. It's kind of funny. But it doesn't matter, because dislikes and likes don't necessarily have, unless it's, you know, wildly unbalanced on the dislike side, don't have much of a difference in YouTube's algorithm stuff. And I've taken classes and stuff on it, as funny as it sounds, on how to do this sort of thing. It's just activity. So even the people disliking videos are promoting by actively interacting with it. There we go. What am I doing? Right. This guy. I need those. Trying to pay attention to both things here. And not talk with my hands, because I tend to talk with my hands. Like, I got good at talking with my hands, but now I'm trying to not talk with my hands, because I don't naturally talk with my hands, but I trained myself to, and now I have to untrain myself. So there's that. Because my hands are controlling my wolfman. Anyways, because but dislikers, you have to have clicked on a video, and whether you watched it or not, you clicked on it, and then you have to actively dislike it. So as funny as it is, the best way to actually say that you don't like a video is to not click on it at all. Or if you do click on it, don't comment and don't like or dislike. Because there's no activity beyond that. That means the video didn't compel you enough to do something. So that's just why I think it's kind of funny, because even the dislikers or people that are really mean in comments not just on my channel, but on any channel, are actually helping promote the YouTubers. So, jokes on them, I guess. I always thought that was kind of funny. But anywho, you certainly, my point on all of that was, I've gotten used to my voice. Because realistically, unless you're used to public speaking, who likes their voice? You know, I don't care for my voice. I used to hate the crap out of it, but I've learned better ways to speak, how to better express myself, how to try to keep my thoughts in line. I'm still a work in progress, mind you. But even just watching some of my older videos, because I've been a YouTuber since 2019 now. I started in December of 19. So it's been over a year for me. Over a year. And when I watch my older stuff, I'm just like, I sound so flat and scared. How did people watch this? I like my newer stuff way better. Which is funny because the newer stuff that I'm happy with has way less views. But that's not I know it's not because of the content necessarily. It's the timing. Well, and partly the content. It's not what's trending, if you will. Like, unironically, when I put out my Brutosaur video last year, I just wanted to share how I did it with raw gold, because I kept getting asked from friends, like, how are you amassing so much gold? And yeah, I had a little help from my bestie Silver, who gave me the final 100k for it, because I was just so tired of grinding gold. But man, these things have some health. Can you die? Can you die? Anyways, I just wanted to share how I did it completely on raw gold, because I'm not a auction house farmer. I don't like it. I know how to. I know how to manipulate markets, and sometimes when I really want something, I do. But it's very rare. You know, I actually have a business degree in marketing. And I've taken statistics that I can't even say. I've taken economics. I know how to do all that, supply and demand. But I'm not going to make guides on it because I don't like it. I don't care for it. I don't do it myself, and I'm not going to do guides on things that I wouldn't want to. Oh, that guy's a bit... Okay. That's a big dude. Didn't realize he was there. Oopsies. Anyways, you know, not going to do guides and things I don't enjoy, so I was just like, well, raw gold, that's something I've done for years, you know. So that's what I did a video on, you know. It's my favorite places to farm, and it just exploded because timing. I was shocked that it exploded. And it's funny because now everyone's blaming all the raw gold nerfs on me, and I'm like, no, it's not me. This is normal. Raw gold nerfs happen every couple of expansions. It happened in MOP. It happened in Legion. You know, like mid-WOD, beginning of Legion, and it's happening again. It happened again in 9.0. So, I mean, this is normal. And I keep telling people that, and they're like, no, it's never been nerfed before. No! And I'm like, yes, it has. Many times. I've been a farmer for many years. What time are we at? Almost an hour? And I'm only 25? I am just now 25? What? You telling me I've leveled this guy for 2 hours and I'm not even 30 yet? Alright. Why don't we cap it there, and let me know in the comments if you would, please, if you want me to even continue this with me recording like this. I am going to continue this on my own. I want the data for myself, but this is trudging along slower than I thought it was. Like with my data, I would be a little over 30, like 31 or 32 now at 2 hours. So just let me know. Let me know, please, if you want me to continue this. And maybe I'll do, if not, I'll do something else next week. Either way, that is all. I think we'll cap it there right now. Good enough. So thank you so much for watching. And as always, remember, it's never too latte. Hi all, Kraken Latte here. Welcome to the part 3, wow, what an intro, of my test of Azeroth Auto Pilot. We're gonna get right into it here. We are continuing on my lovely Worgen Warrior in Gorgrund, and we're gonna see where it takes us. I am starting at a flat 25, and we'll see how far we get. I'm assuming in the next hour I'm gonna be like 32, maybe 33, hopefully. So we will see where it wants. It's already taking me a different route than I normally do it in, so that's interesting. But that's okay. We're just gonna be good little player girls here and follow the green dots. Instead of follow the yellow brick road, we're gonna follow the green dots. But anyways, welcome back. It's been a week since I've done this. I'm recording these as I need to make them instead of in advance. Normally I'd do it all in advance. That's just good planning right there. But because of the leveling guide work that I've been doing these as I need them to try to, you know, get as much time in on that as possible. And I just completed Northrend. Huzzah! It was so long. Oh my word. It was so long. I was all like, yeah, I'll have this out by next Friday. Last week. No. It's so much longer than Outland. I was like there's more zones, so it's kind of to be expected. But each zone is just as long, if not longer, than Outland zones. So, you know, I put out all the times in minutes, so it doesn't seem like, like 238 minutes. Okay, whatever. But if you actually, do the math, divide that by 60, and you'll see how many hours that is. Some zones are like 4 to 6 hours long. Why? I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just, it's one of those things, I always knew Northrend zones were just long. But, when you don't actually, record things or take notes on how long it actually takes to do something, you don't really realize, wow, I just spent, that was only 30 minutes. Or, wow, that was 6 hours. I've literally been here for 6 hours. Yeah. Someone had commented on the Northrend video that, you don't really realize how long it is until you see it written. And that is very true. It's very true. Hot diggity. I was shocked. I know I keep going on about how long it is, but I'm just like, is it over? Is it done yet? Good grief. Which is fine, because the Warlords of Draenor zones are not nearly as long. I'm about almost halfway done-ish with Draenor testing. It's long because I have to do each zone several times. But each zone only takes maybe 2 hours tops. Maybe 2.5. The starting zones take almost 3. But I don't have to do those multiple times because it's different. They don't have outposts and they're specific to each faction, so I don't have to do them twice or 4 times. I might do them in another leveling bracket, but that's different. That's, that's different. Anyways, so that's why I took a break. I was frustrated. I was doing Draenor before, a few weeks ago, but I got frustrated because I had to do the zones so many times. So it's you know what? I'm just going to do Outland and Northrend first because I know by the time I'm done with those two, I'm going to want to go back to Draenor, and I was right. Woo! I am happy to be doing Draenor testing, even with all its complications. That's okay, though. That's fine. So now that I got that out of my system, we're almost there. I say we, but I'm almost there, And thank you to all you folks who keep offering to help test things for me. I super appreciate it, on that note. But I want to do this myself, so I have the recording, I have the information, and I see it myself, because I know what I'm presenting to you in these videos is the full time and XP. I'm doing the entire zone as much as I possibly can. to get, you know, is this whole zone? What do I get out of this? But not every zone is worth doing the full zone. Like Oldham, for example. It's a really long zone, but there's actually certain quest lines that you can skip that, you know, I haven't tested this yet, but it might be a really good zone if I skip certain parts of it. And it might still be worth doing as an intermediary. I don't know. You know, that's an example where I wouldn't know that if I didn't level there myself. So, appreciate it, but this is a me thing. I had a couple of friends do some of the old zones, but I ended up just redoing them myself. I was getting help at the very start, but I ended up just doing it myself and redoing those zones that they did because I'm like, you know, could I have done it faster? Because it's not my times. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I can watch the recording they gave me, but I'm like, I don't know, it's not quite how I would have done it, or, you know, it's, I don't know. I'm not trying to sound, like, mean or anything, I promise. It's just, it's better sometimes when you experience things. And I can say things, and we need to go inside. I can say things with more confidence when I know what the results are because I did it, you know. So I feel better about that. Ooh, let's put on a belt. There we go. Okay, so there's that. But Northern's done. I'm very happy about that. And I'm debating whether or not to do a... I don't even know what to call it. Because the Warlords of Draenor one will be the last expansion-based video for this little series. There's other stuff I'm going to be testing, but that probably won't take me very long because I already have, it's a running list of zones I need to test in other brackets, zones I need to do only certain parts of, like I had mentioned, to see, you know, like I've brought up before, maybe Gorgrond is even better if you don't do the bonus objectives, because I have data that the bonus objectives make up half, if not more, the time of the entire zone, but only a quarter of the levels. See, that there's a balance there, where if I can be in and out of this really fast, then it would be faster to do that than to stay and complete, if that makes sense. So it's stuff like that that I have to test in addition and beyond to the just full zone reports that I'm doing now. So think of like all these videos as like primers. These are the primer for me to have a new concept on how the new leveling system works, the new scaling works, how the zones are working now, and I think I have a pretty good understanding of how everything works now. And the scaling is a little different with each expansion, so it's interesting. Like, you know, if you look at some of the results in the other videos, some zones, you know, I can't apply that original scaling that I had in the first one. Like, and what I mean by that is, like, if you quest in a zone from at level 10, and say you get to level 30 in one zone, there are some zones like that. That's 20 levels in one zone. That's awesome. So you would think, you know, if I jump to after 30 and I do it on a 30 character, that means I'll probably get like 15 or 16 levels, right? No, not necessarily. Well, it's different. It's funky. What I'm finding out is and this only comes from experience since I've played a long time, but what I'm finding out is the old world scaling, that's what I'm calling it mentally, is the scaling before they implemented Chromie time, before the leveling squish. That's what I call old world scaling. The old world scaling still exists even with Chromie time, like Outland, for example. It just lacks XP. It's the weak link because it's the oldest. And so the scaling there is going to be different across the different leveling brackets than it will be, say, in Legion, which is what I was originally using because Valshara, for example, has some of the best times for all three brackets, the 10s, the 30s, and the 40s. So I was using that as an example. But I couldn't do that because it just wasn't working. Am I having some lag? I'm having some lag. Can I? Okay, well, I'm gonna take a sip. Of the remnants of an iced coffee. Yeah, my internet's being a little weird. Okay, I think we're okay now. Apologies, there's been heat waves off and on lately because it's that time of year. Yep, it's a little laggy still. Come on! And my internet always goes on the fritz when there's heat waves. I don't really know what causes it, because for those of you that may or may not know, I play mainly on a hotspot with AT&T, because that's what reaches out here until Starlink finally gets its butt shipped over to me. So, but because of the heat, it's been kind of on the fritz lately. Not like super bad, just spotty, a little funky. Anyways, so scaling. Old world scaling. I know I've noticed that from my experience, the sensation, if you will, since I've leveled in this game for so long, that scaling, the distribution of XP is still there. Like, that's really hard to explain if you don't experience it for yourself. That's why I bring up, like, the difference between Outland and Legion, because it's different. Like, it's not just a matter of, you know, you go to this zone, you get X. Well, it might not be X, you know. I can't say, it's hard to explain, I'm so sorry. I feel so incompetent when I try to explain things on the fly like this without, this is why I'm a writer. I'm a writer, not a speaker. I'm trying to be better at on the fly speaking, because I watch back in these after editing, and I'm just like, really? You should have said this other thing, idiot. I know I'm probably too hard on myself, but hey, we all gotta learn somewhere, right? Anyway, yeah, so, I don't know, there's just this scaling that applies to certain expansions, and it's specific to each expansion, we'll put it that way. So, like, whereas in one zone, in, say, Legion, come on, lag, you'll get, like, you know, 10 levels out of this zone, and then if you jump to the 30s, you'll get 8. You know what? Let me go check my hotspot. Anyways, so, yeah. What was I saying? Right. So, you know, back to what I was doing here. Yeah. I don't know. I got sidetracked. Scaling. Scaling's different. So. You just have to believe me on that one, because I can't really explain it too much beyond. It's just going to be different per expansion. And I have had to treat each expansion as its own monster for the scaling, because it is not equalized across the entire game. So, you know, like Sholazar, for example. In the 20s, I got 12 levels, I think. I don't have the data in front of me, but in the 20s, yeah, because I went from 20 to 32. I got 12 levels. Nice! Now, you would assume that if you jumped into the 30s, based on my experience from Legion, if I continued to use that, if I jumped into the 30s, then I would probably get like 8 or 9 from Sholazar. And then if I jumped into the 40s, I'd probably get like 6 or 7, right? No! No. Because the Northrend scaling is different, I got 4. 41 to 45? It was either 4 or 5. It dropped down hard in the 40s in Sholazar Basin. And I was just like, no! You could have been the one! Careful. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I had to focus for a second. I didn't want to fall and die. I don't have Heroic Leap yet, so I didn't want to die. That's embarrassing. Anyway, so yeah, it's just like, I know that's, you know, probably complicated, and it's not information that you guys need to worry yourselves over. It's just a me thing. For having that experience from the prior to when they did the squish, is a gift and a curse sometimes, because I can see the similarities in some areas and it helps, but on the other hand, that makes me have predetermined expectations. Come on, lag. Free. That I just don't, that I shouldn't have, because it's not always right. It's so all over the place now, it's funky. Whatever. Because you know what they did is they just applied the party sync scaling, I mean this is my guess from what I've seen, and slapped it into each expansion instead of like actually grouping them all as a whole. Because if you look at how they said they wanted you to level, and I mean they as in Blizzard, you can go to any expansion and level all the way to 50. Yes, you can go back and change your mind, you can go somewhere else, but the scaling's going to be different, so. But, you know, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, even though I would like everything to be all even across the playing field, you know, if you get 10 in this zone here, and you get 8 in then the next bracket, and then 6 in the next, that should be the same across all the expansions. It's not. Even though I would like that, it's fine that it isn't. We can actually use it to our benefit, because then that means all I have to do is find zones and find the expansions with the better scaling and then test those. So like Northrend's all over the place. Borean Tundra, for example. That's why I had such high expectations for Sholazar, because Borean Tundra scaled for some reason really well. And so even the scaling within the expansions, I don't know. I don't have an answer. It's a little weird. Anyway, why don't we talk about something else? I've been talking about scaling for like 20 minutes. Not really, but close enough. So, whatever. Point is, I am excited to finally get this, you know, almost done, because it has been a long project, and boy, I am ready to do Shadowlands stuff. Like, I'm not burnt out or sick of it. I'm just ready to do something else, you know? And 9.1 is coming out, and that was my original goal. I wanted to have the 1 to 50 guide out before 9.1. And it's going to be a little after, unfortunately. It's probably going to be another week or two. Just because it takes a while. You know? So. And this isn't the only thing I have going on in my life, you know? I got family that are all like, I want to do things with you. You're always busy. And I'm like, yeah. It's called having a life. I work. And they're like, yeah, but you're not in college anymore. And I'm like, yeah, I have a job. You know what that is? You know what that's like? It's all I can eat. Whatever. So, you know, there's that too, being pulled all over the place. It's fine. It's whatever. That's fine. Alright. Let's see, where are we going now? Turning in these quests, I guess. Alright. Just between you and me, I don't know. I mean, I already kind of guessed this in the first 2 episodes, but I don't think there's going to be much I'm going to learn out of Azeroth Auto Pilot for my own leveling guide. Just because I'm way behind where I would be now. Like, it just, the distance keeps growing. Which is interesting. Because 2 hours, like less than 2 hours at sea, 88, 83, 80 plus 45. Yeah, it's basically 2 hours. 2 hours in my other guide, and I can be 30. And we're, you know, not there yet here. And we're over 2 hours. What's funny is I've done a lot of Draenor already, and it's not actually the best. I'm not sure why everyone says it is, because my results have been quite not super different, but they're just not what I expected. Because everyone's like, ah, oh, come on, lag. Hello, Rexar. There we go. My internet says it's fine, so like, what's the dealio? What's going on here? Anyway. Draenor's not living up to my expectations. Everyone's like, oh, WoD's the best now. It's you should level there for the entire 10 to 50, and I'm like, but it's not like giving me the times or the results that I expected it to, so I'm not sure what's up with that. I don't know. I guess it's people have been making those assumptions on, you know, previous information from before the scaling, or if it really was changed that much after pre-patch, because back when like all the speedrunners like Vista, for example, were doing theirs, that was, you know, their runs, that was during pre-patch. And he didn't even do a full Draenor. He just did like one zone, one or two, not that. Half of it was old world, vanilla cata stuff. So like, which I can see why, because a lot of those zones are some of the better zones in the game, which is funny because they're so old. Like, I know most of them were updated with the Cataclysm, but that's still pretty old. Still older than Draenor. But, you know. Anyway, so I don't know. I'm just not seeing what other people are seeing in it. And when I talk to some people, sometimes they're like, oh, it's really good. And like, oh, well, what were your times? And they can't really give me a time. They're like, oh, well, I got to 50 in probably like 6 hours. And I'm like, are you sure? Because that's impressive, first of all. So that would be faster than my time. And second of all, how? You know what I mean? So that's whatever. I'm aiming for 5 to 6 hours for the whole 1 to 50. I'm including 1 to 10 because for some reason I've noticed a lot of guides don't. I don't know why. And a lot of guides that I watch, they're like, oh, you know, allied race. And I'm like, well, not everyone wants to play an allied race. There are the regular base races don't start at 10, so I'm a little baffled on that. So it's a 1 to 50 guide, not 10 to 50. That's the thing too, a lot of these other guides that I've seen, because I do research, I watch other people's guides, they just don't know it. I've watched a lot of guides over YouTube, and they don't include the 1 to 10 for some reason, or they do like some funky path, and I'm like, but that isn't the results I got. How'd you get that? Or they don't give specifics. Like they just say level in these zones in this order and you'll be 50. And they say, oh, it's like, you know, between 6 and 8 hours. I'm like, okay. But is there anything I know about that? What kind of level range am I expecting? I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to pick apart other people's work. It's just something I've noticed. And not having specifics always bothers me because I don't know what to expect. Because I don't know, if I don't have the specifics, then I can't improve on it. I have to do my own research, if you will, like I'm doing now. Like, you know, if I was, didn't have any of this research here and was told to just go level in Red Ridge Mountains and then go level in, what's the one everyone says to do afterwards for some reason? Duskwood. Fine. Okay. But what would I be at the end of that? What should I expect? You know, when do I need to go back for my faster riding? When should I turn on war mode? That's another thing too. They don't mention like when you should go turn on your war mode or turning it on at all. I think it's quite important because it's a free XP. Why would you not want it? It's accessible to everyone. It's on all the time. I think people are just a little afraid of having it on just because they don't want to get ganked, but there's something to keep in mind now. Chromie time. High level players, if they're 50 plus, you can't come into Chromie time unless you purposely have someone party sync and then turn on Chromie time with you. Like, it's a little more complicated than it used to. You're not phased with the same people in Chromie time as you are in the regular world, I guess. Technically there's 4 different phasings. There's non-chromie time, non-war mode. There's non-chromie time with war mode. Those are 2 different phases. There's chromie time with war mode, and then chromie time without war mode. Yes, these are all 4 completely different phases. I have tested them, and so it's a great way to farm rares, by the way. But anyways, you know, so it's high-level players can't come be mean to you unless they have a friend or alt account that they're specifically party syncing and chromie timing and turning on war mode with. Like, you gotta have 3 different things there to be able to do that. And if they're really doing that, then boo. They are bored. They needed to go, like, pick up a different game or something, cause, man. But literally, I mean, how much I have leveled, I barely come across other people. Like, I am on high and full pop servers. Even now, Moonguard is still a full pop. Wormrest dropped back down to high, but that's pretty normal. I think there's a lot of intermediary type people that play that one. But Moonguard's always full population. Ever since BFA, it has not lowered. But despite that, like, it is rare for me to run into another person. Like, I think yesterday I actually ran into someone in Gargrund when I was testing. And that didn't come as a surprise just because everyone says to level in WoD. I expected to see some people here. Now, when I was first testing WoD, because it was one of the first zone areas I was actually originally testing, there was a lot of people here, which made it frustrating, and they were all in war mode, and that's why I turned it off, because it was becoming a pain. Not that I was being haggled or anything, there was just a lot of people. That's why I turned it, put that one on hold to level later, which I'm doing now. And even then, even after 9.1, there's not a lot of people here. I only saw that one person, and it was opposite faction, but I was like 10 levels higher, and they just kind of looked at me and like, no please. So, it's kind of funny. I don't attack people unless they provoke me. So, I don't have any reason to. I'm like, I have better things to do than attack you. Just get out of my way. So, lag. Come on, man. But, anywho. So, yeah. Whatever. It's whatever. I don't care. I do recommend turning on war mode, though. So you can get that buff. But I am excited, not just to be done, but I'm really excited to test the zones I want to test. Because yes, I'm doing, you know, like I mentioned, this full start to finish completion zone run, but I have a list of zones that I want to test again in different ways, like Oldham, only doing certain quest lines, doing, I don't know, I don't have my list in front of me, but some of these other zones. Fellwood. I need to test Fellwood in the 40s. I haven't done that yet because the scaling is different. I can't apply one set of scaling to all the zones. Fellwood was alright in the 20s and it was alright in the 30s. Come on, lag, no! Might have to reset here soon or something. It's becoming more frequent. Stop turning me around. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, Fellwood. I need to test Fellwood in the 40s for all I know. That could be amazing. Like, look at Burian Tundra as the most recent example. It was alright in the 10s. You know, there's other zones that are better. It was alright in the 30s. There's other zones that are better. But the 40s, I was impressed. Is it the best for the 40s? No. But it is really good. And because I did it myself, I know what the slowest quest lines are. Because the nice thing about Burian Tundra is, and I can still apply what I call cluster questing. I'm sure there's a proper term for it, but I call it cluster quests. Nice thing about Burian Tundra is it's not linear. There's hubs, little groups or clusters of quests that don't require each other, if that makes sense. Like, you don't have to go do anything with the Blue Dragon area in Kuldara to be able to go do the gnome stuff you know, with all the mechanomes and machines and stuff. Those are completely separate. You don't have to do them. They'll send you there, but that's just to make you aware. It's just a little breadcrumb leader quest. It's not like, you know, you have to do them in order. And I like that. The zones like that are really nice because you can drop off the stuff that's really slow. Like, I think some of the slowest stuff there is, like, the stuff with Thessarian is definitely really slow. There's another zone that I can't, part of it that I can't think of. Oh, let's be careful here. Here we go. Don't want to rocket off the edge here. Anyway, so, yeah, you know, and then I can, you know, make it a lot faster because what I found is the first, like, was it like 5 or 6 levels of Borean Tundra in the 40s was really fast, like faster than High Mountain. And when I say fast, I mean, I don't mean like overall time. I mean minutes per level. That's how I have to do this. Kind of like when I was doing my gold stuff. It's gold per minute. This is level per minute, minutes per level type of thing. So, because High Mountain, for example, is 15. The entire zone, if you do from 40 to 48, is 15 minutes per level, which, for that range, is really good. Borean Tundra, the whole zone, is 19, which, you know, that adds up. So, even though it doesn't sound like that much of a difference, that's a bit of a difference. But that's not common. Most zones, you know, in the 40s jump up into the 20s and 30s because you're getting so little levels out of it for that higher range, despite the time decrease, which is interesting. But I noticed the first half, because I like doing it in a certain order, which if it does make it to the finals, if you will, is something I will show you. The first half of the zone that I did was like 13 or 14. It was like better than High Mountain, but it wasn't the whole zone. So that's like what I'm talking about when I say I need to go back and do secondary testing after this primer preliminary stuff to do that, because there's no reason to complete a zone if the rest of it is trash. Hillsbrad, for example, that's one people will probably way more familiar with. Hillsbrad for the Horde. The first half of the zone is fabulous. It's like literally the best for the 20 to 30 portion for Horde. Like, just a spoiler right there. It's gonna be in the guide, unless I find something better, which I have not. It's just gonna be in the guide because I just can't beat it. 45 minutes and I can go from 23 to 30 on Horde. Hot diggity. So, just can't be beat. But that's only if you do the first half. The East Point Tower area and the stuff, whatever, not South Shore. South Shore is good. The north part, Tarn Mill. Those two parts, those two quest hub areas, suck. Like, it just... Like, even the stuff with, like, the dwarves and things, and doing things and turning into people, like... With the exception of 1 or 2 quests over there, it just drops your time heavily. So, I skip those. A lot of people say it will just be there because you're already there, and, you know, not necessarily. Like, if I can drop... Because, we'll put it this way. The zone time doubles if I do just those 2 quest hubs. I can get from 23 to 30 in 45 minutes as Horde in Hillsbrad. Hot dang! That's awesome. But if I do the rest of the zone and try to get... Come on, lag, man. Trying to give information here and you're just being a douche. Anyway, if I try to get, you know, more out of the zone beyond 30, it doubles. I hit 80, 90, 100 minutes, and, you know, it's over an hour. And I only hit like 33, 34. You see, kind of see what I mean, I hope? That minutes, those minutes, the time changes drastically. So that's the example here. That's the stuff I'm excited to go test, because it's not just do this zone, you know, which gets a little boring after a while. this is like, I'm excited for that type of testing. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm excited for it. Because that's the fun stuff, because that's stuff I already know is good because I've already tested it and it impressed me in some way. You know, like doing Fellwood in the 40s, I don't know. It wasn't amazing in the 10s, it wasn't amazing in the 20s or 30s, it was okay. But it could be amazing in the 40s. I don't know. Gotta test it. So, yeah, that's what I'm excited for. Really excited. Looking forward to it. But anyway, what I was saying earlier, since I remembered what I was going to say, my reason I got off on this tangent. I don't know if I should make a video compiling all of the quote-unquote best zones to level in WoW. Because it's a convoluted list is the problem. And I feel like I would spend more time trying to put that list together than I would just making the guide that has the specific like 5 zones that I'm gonna use for my route. So I don't know about that, like, because it's a little subjective too. Like maybe someone else has got some other trick and they hate this zone and come on, lag. Oh no, man. No, I know you don't want to hear me complaining about my lag, but it's starting to grate on my nerves. I just stop and reset, but I don't want to. Anyway. Yeah. So I don't know. Videos like that either do really well or get tons of hate. And I don't know why. Like, I'm not sure what that is. People come in waves. Like, just recently on my Northrend video, I got a lot of compliments and people saying they appreciate my work, and I really appreciate that. It's positive reinforcement for me. Sometimes it's nice to hear that people do appreciate your work. You know, even if I don't care if it's not the most popular, but sometimes on other videos, people will just come in and shit all over it, but it's like, but I'm not really seeing your point though. What exactly is it you're not liking? Like, I can't really better myself if you don't tell me. You know? So, anyway. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But, I don't know. I just feel like that, a video like the best zones in World of Warcraft for leveling, I don't know, it might be more work than it needs to be when I should be just focusing my time on the guide itself, so. Because there was a couple times at the very start of this series. Does it not want me to take... Okay. Sending me to the bonus objective in it, isn't it? It should have... See, this part, this is where I differ from here. When I was down there slapping Gorons, I would have run over and done this bonus objective because you're really close to it in a couple areas. And then come around and then turn in the quest and then road Nisha. But now it's going to have me do this and then run back and raid Nisha when there's that unnecessary travel. Whatever. Not gonna complain. It's fine. Whatever. But, oh no, this lag. This lag. It's starting to get unbearable and I don't know why. Anywho. So, yeah, so, I probably won't do that video. I don't think it's necessary because they're not zones I'm gonna bother with anyways. Like, if they're not good enough to be in my route, then I'm not gonna worry about it, you know? If people really want that information, they can just make up their own minds when they look at my videos. That's how I look at it. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm trying to give you information so you can make up your own mind about it. But apparently that's a flawed assumption on my part because most people like being told just what to do. They don't want to have to think. Okay. I like looking at videos and deciding what I want to do with that information. Not, you know, being told how to feel, I guess. I don't know. I suppose I'm kind of different when it comes to that. I don't know. Just whatever. Okay, you know what? This lag. I'm gonna go reset. So, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Welcome back me. Welcome back you. I know that was probably don't know why I'm saying welcome back. Y'all didn't go anywhere. That was probably like 1 second for you in editing, but I went and restarted my hotspot because the lag's getting a little old, so hopefully that did the trick. Usually does. Sometimes. I say usually, but it's more like... Anyways, what was I even talking about? I don't know. Oh, I'm excited to do different work, I guess. You know, do different testing, not just zone completion. That's, I guess, all that comes to. I'm excited to get the guide done. I'm even more excited, too, when that's done, to do the 50 to 60 stuff, because normally by now I start doing the end zone leveling, end game leveling, the new expansion. But because I've had to make so many alts now and had to do this retesting of everything for 1 to 50, I'm behind where I normally am. Normally I would have all of my alts to, in this case, 50 by now. And I would be probably partway through the 50 to 60. But that is not the case this time, so I am very ready to do the 50 to 60 stuff. And I'm excited too because 9.1's just around the corner by this point, and I think it comes out this next Tuesday. Yeah. And that means flying is going to be out rather soon. So I think you have to get like renown 44 or whatever for it. I don't entirely remember the requirements. It's a little funky this time. But yeah. I'm excited for the flying part, I'll put it that way, because I was doing 40 to 50 testing before I did the 1 to 50, before I changed my mind and decided, you know, let's do this in order. I'll do 1 to 50 first. Because I wanted to wait for flying, because it's really slow. Leveling in Shadowlands is really slow. And whether you're questing through Threads of Fate or through dungeons or just through regular non-Threads of Fate questing, the linear progression, you're looking at 4 to 6 hours. So, which is almost as long, if not longer. Yeah, just as long as it takes to get to 50 from 1. So that's interesting to me. 40 or 50 to 60 is literally the other half. So it's interesting. I don't know. It's funny because if you think about it, that means on average it's still going to take you 12 to 20-ish hours, depending on how slow you are, to hit max level. And those numbers should sound familiar, because you remember what my record was, if for those of you that are longtime fans, from my old leveling guide, 14. I could hit 120, 1 to 120 in 14 hours was my record. It was usually around 15 to 16 for me, but if I'm really pushing it, I was able to do 14. So, that sounds familiar, methinks. So the time hasn't actually changed much. It's just been redistributed. So that's interesting. Not that I care. I'm not complaining at all. I do not care. I just think it's interesting. Okay, well. I died. The poison got me. Whatever. It's fine. I don't care. There's one thing. Speaking of dying, we're gonna reload here real quick. My dots are messed up. But speaking of dying, what's infuriating to me about dying in Outlander Northrend is they don't give you flying mounts in the dead part. Like, you know, whatever. But there are many times that I would die and I could not reach my body because a lot of stuff in those old zones, specifically Northrend, required flying because that was designed with flying in mind. So I couldn't reach my body. So like in Koldara, for example, when I was trying to do the Elite Dragon Quest daily thing that you can do that gives you can do it twice. The first time it's XP and then you can do it again. You know, you ride a little drake up at the top of the Koldara spire thing and you can shoot down other drakes. You can do it twice.
both give lots of XP. Well, those are elites. So if you mess up, you die. And it was frustrating because I died up there in one of my attempts, and I couldn't reach my body because it didn't give me a flying mount, so I couldn't go up there. I literally couldn't reach my body, so I had to take the dang, whatever you call it, you know, the res sickness, there we go, and try to do quests that didn't require a lot of mob killing until the 10 minutes wore off. I can go back to it. Like, I thought about just cutting that part out of the time, but it wouldn't be realistic. You know, if I was anyone else, they possibly would have died too, and then they would have to deal with that time. So my times are authentic, we'll put it that way. You know, unless it's like a lag issue, I try to cut some of that out, because most people, I would assume, have better internet than me. So, yeah. Anyway, so dying in those older expansions is really frustrating because it's really hard to get to your body sometimes. Especially, like, not just in how Northrend, how it's hard to get to your body sometimes, but in Outland, there's not a lot of graveyards, I noticed. I had my fair share of dying in some of those Outland zones, and there's like 2 graveyards, maybe 3 per zone, and 2 of those 3 are faction specific even. So you're running like up to 2,000 yards to reach your body when it's like, really? Is this necessary? Like, I guess I'm spoiled, but that's part of the stuff that I didn't like when I tried to play during those expansions when they were alive. Put it that way, because I tell everyone that I started in MOP, Miss Pandaria, which is basically true because that's when I actually... Uh-oh, lag. There we go. Because that's when I actually, like, stayed. I have technically been playing since vanilla, when Classic, the original Classic, if you will, launched. But I didn't play for very long because it was grindy, it was slow, a lot of requirements to play with other people, and I'm a very solo player by nature, so it just wasn't my thing. You know, if I wanted to play something like that, I would play something that didn't require internet, which I had plenty of games of. You know, Knights of the Old Republic, and Morrowind and Oblivion, and The Witcher and The Witcher 2, and, you know, stuff like that, back in the day when those came out in those different eras. So if I wanted to go play solo stuff, I would just go play actual solo games. So I didn't stick around. And that was part of the thing that bothered me, was dying was such a detriment. Then more so even than now. It was super punishing, which drove me nuts. I mean, I don't mind being punished for dying, but half the time when you die, it's like, you know, doesn't it feel like half the time when you die, it's not because the mob was too hard or something, or like, at least for me, they're stupid deaths. Like, I got blasted off the side into the oblivion between, you know, the Nether Storm and the rest of Outland, and now I can't reach my body, or whatever, or my flying mount dismounted me for some reason, and I fell to my death because I didn't have gliders, or whatever, you know, stuff like that. Or I'm trying to fight this one mob, and he won't die fast enough, so this other patrol sees me, this other Pat. And then another one comes along, and you're like, holy beans, I can't even kill one of you! Trust me, I've had lots of that. It's a little frustrating. So, you know, it was already frustrating to die, and then to have to run so long to get to your body. Especially when you have flying. Like, that was the thing for me in Outland and Northrend. To me, if you can fly there when you're alive, it should give you a flying mount when you're dead. In my opinion. I'm sure I'll have people disagree with me, but in my opinion. I don't mind not having flying in my deathliness state. Yeah, scout. When I'm in the 10s and 20s. Fine. But when you're 40, and you're flying around a zone, and then you die, and you can't get back to your body decently, or even at all, like in Borean Tundra, that same quest I told you about with the elite drakes, and you fight him on a dragon. I died in my 40s. I couldn't reach my body, and that was so frustrating because if I rezzed, I could just fly up there. But because I had to just res as the spirit healer, I had the 10-minute sickness. I'm like, is this quest even worth it? You know, by that point, you start questioning it. So it's like... See, this is my version of complaining. It's just over little things. I mean, it's not like a game stopper or anything, but sure is annoying. And that was just kind of some of the reasons I didn't play, you know, back when those old expansions were live. Just, I don't know, it was just too frustrating to do stuff solo at the time. So that's why I skip all the complications until people that I started in MOP, because it's technically when I actually started and didn't stop. So, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are like, oh, well, it's because the game was becoming more casual, and yeah, but I always wondered, why are the casuals the ones that are frowned upon when they're usually the ones that actually have a life outside the game? Like girlfriends or boyfriends, jobs, families, college. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Like, I remember one time, this was back in Legion, I was pugging a mythic dungeon back when I did that stuff, and someone got like all offended at me because I wasn't performing very well. And they're like, what, do you have a job to get to? Frickin' do this job. This is your job. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Is that even an insult? What, do you have a job to get to? Yeah, actually I do, because I have a life, and apparently you don't. Like, I mean, whatever. Like, I don't care if you dedicate all your time to this game. I dedicate all my free time to this game. Like, but I still have a job. I had college. I have 2 degrees now. I'm trying to make money with this. I'm trying to turn this into a job. So, I don't know. It's just the whole casual thing. Like, I don't see how that's a bad thing. And I know people use it to against you, to tell you you're a casual because you're not playing very well. But it's like, so, I don't know. I guess it's just me, but I never understood that mindset. I'm like, so you're mad at me because I don't play this game all the time. I have a job and I'm going to college. Is there something wrong with that statement there? Excuse me for not being a pro player because I don't have a life. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just, and that happens like a lot. Like, yay, 30. But like more than you think. Like, not that specific insult, but just kind of like, oh, you filthy casual. It's like, well, yeah. I have a life. So, whatever. Enough of that. Anyways, it's just, I have so many experiences. You know, I've been, like, sometimes I still feel like a noob. We'll put it that way. But I've been playing since Mists of Pandaria. Since 2013. I started, pretty sure it was 13. In the Throne of Thunder, the Thunder King patch, 5.4 or whatever it was. That's when I officially started because the Thunder King looked really cool. My friend wanted to level with me, the friend I had at the time. And, you know, she didn't. We didn't level together. Like, we did sometimes, but then she kind of ditched me toward the end, and I was like, to go raid, and I was like, okay. I guess I'll figure this out on my own. But anyways, that's not important. Point is, but I've been playing since 2013. That's 8 years now. 8 years of my life. And there's been people playing since vanilla, like officially. I don't consider myself have been playing that long because I was a stupid kid at the time. And every time I would try the new expansion, I would get frustrated with it. I didn't like it. And so then I would delete all of my characters and uninstall the game. Yeah, I know. It hurts my soul to say that. I could have characters that are vanilla era. Yeah, I know. It hurts. All those characters. Almost knocked over my drink in agony. Whatever. Not a big deal. But let's see. Let's get my flying. As you see here, I'm hearthing. Gonna get my flying because I'm 30, and it's actually telling me, or it was telling me, to go hearth and to actually hearth and go get it. So now it says you can now learn expert writing, but it's actually telling me to go get it. It's pointing me to it. So unlike the 21, so that's good. So I'm gonna go get it because flying is nice. It'll help a lot. As I slowly render into the game. Now trust me, it looks like there's no one here right now, but everyone hasn't loaded in. Like, see that NPC just popped into existence there. The server is a high pop, and this city is always so dang full of people. So you can't even see that person on their mount. Not everyone's loaded in. It's because everyone hasn't loaded in yet. It's so dang jam-packed with people. I always have to wait for things to render the first time I come into Stormwind. Looks like this time wasn't too bad, so that's good. Alright, get flying, and then we'll just hearth back. It's still not telling me anything about war mode, so I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just going to assume it doesn't care. I know it wants me to go to the portal room, but I'm just going to use my hearth. So much faster and easier. I don't care what it says. I know, I'm going against the rules. I'm not following, I'm sorry. But I just gotta, man. I just gotta. Alright. Gotta wait for all this to render. Sheesh. Dang garrisons. Well, I think I'll pick up my stuff first. Whoop. Because now I can make a rank 2 garrison, and I'll do that later. Take me to... Okay. I was going to fly to the Rexar spot, but I think it said Wild Wash. Yeah, why is it taking me to Wild Wash? It's gonna want me to go do the Rexar quests. Whatever. Why does it say the closest flight point is Exile's Rise? No, I have a flight point in my garrison, you dingaling. Whatever. Anyway, we're starting to get up there on time. We're approaching an hour. I'll probably do a couple more quests and then call it good for this time. So I'm almost an hour, like a few minutes away from an hour, and I'm just now 30. So counting the previous 2 episodes, that's 10 to 30 in 3 hours. Because remember, I didn't count 1 to 10 in this little series here. This is just for Azeroth Auto Pilot, which is 10 plus. I don't know if it does 1 to 10 stuff, but I didn't bother with that because I did Exile's Reach on my Worgen, since I wanted a Worgen. That way I was 10 when I got out, instead of 16 or 17 like the Worgen intro would have put me at. So, yeah. Really slow. Really slow. And I'm trying to be quick. I'm trying to just do what it says. There's many things I would have changed. I'm trying to do what it says. I know I say that every episode, but I'm a little disappointed. That's okay. Whatever. I always do my own thing anyways. See, I was gonna fly to the Breaker Pass or whatever it is. Over there. Because Wild Wash is a different direction. I don't know why it took me to Wild Wash automatically. Strange. Whatever. Just means I gotta take another flight point. Because it's easier to get around from there than the other side. That's fine. Alright. Breaker's Crown. That's what it was called. Breaker's Crown. That's fine. So. Yeah, normally I would have done Sparring Arena and the Rangari and the Red, you know, the mushroom stuff, and all those bonus objectives, because we still have all those bonus objectives down past Beast Watch and Tangleheart down there. There's like 4 or 5. A few of them aren't shown on the map right now because I haven't been down there. I normally do all that stuff first and then go around to the west in a circle. And then, you know, take Nisha back after the Sabron stuff and be done. And that's how I get my pretty good times with this zone. But what am I doing? I can ride or fly. I can fly now. I get so used to riding around. There we go. Yeah, granny speed. But we're in the air, and that's what matters. Anyway, so it's kind of sending me in a strange little route, but is what it is. I didn't make the route. I'm just following it. So, and uh-oh, I might have to sneeze. I don't want to sneeze. Whew. Good, got it off before I went into combat, because when you have to, excuse me by the way, I'm sorry if I blew your ears out. Sneezing when you're in the middle of combat's frustrating sometimes. You're like, I can't see. I can't see. I need to see. Oh well. It's okay. Let's see what time are we at. Yeah, we're over an hour now. I'll finish these couple little quests here. I guess one quest. And we'll call it a day. I'll keep going with this series. I didn't have anyone tell me they didn't want it to continue it when I asked from last week. So thank you for those of you who actually commented and said something. Because I'm not going to stop, testing AAP, Azeroth Auto Pilot. But I just wanted to know if you guys all actually wanted to watch me do it. Because I wanted to see for myself if it was worth, if there was anything I could learn out of it for, before I made my official guide. But it's taking me longer than I expected. Which is a bummer. That is a bummer, but that's okay. That's whatever. That is whatever. I just like doing my own thing anyways. But you all know that. Those of you that have watched my stuff for a while, and those of you that are new, hello. Welcome to the fam. I see people recently have been telling me that they just came across my stuff, and they like my content and they subbed, which is delightful. It's nice to see some newer, fresher faces lately, because I don't know if you've noticed, but man, I've lost 20, 30,000 subs? Not 1,000. 100. I have 30,000 subs. 31.4 is what it is at this point. I used to have 36. My high point was 36, but I think all the people who are like, you should start doing gold guides anymore. And I'm like, well, I'm doing another project at the moment. I can't do everything all at once. On that note, too, I keep getting asked, when are you going to do more gold guides? And I'm like, well, first of all, I only do raw gold. So if you watched my guides, you would know that. And second of all, I already did all of them. I'm probably going to redo the instances later, but I like doing instance stuff, like raids. I already did up through Legion. You can't solo a lot of BFA stuff yet. So what do you want from me? I can't make more raids appear. So I don't know. I just thought that was kind of funny, and I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? They're like, we'll do auction house stuff. And I'm like, that's not raw gold. I do raw gold. That's my thing. I couldn't be asked about auction house stuff. I do my daily postings, and that's it. I'm not into that sort of stuff. I already bought my Brutosaur. I have a lot of the things I could buy with gold, but I'm not in gold farming mode right now. That's an end of the expansion thing for me when you can actually solo stuff. But as a spoiler for you, those of you that are with me this long, I do have plans to redo all of the old instances for raw gold later. Just because all of it was nerfed again, which is fine. back in 9.0. So, but anyway, I think that's good enough. I've rambled long enough. It's been over an hour now, so I think I'll cap it there. I'll leave him here, and we will continue this next time. We're about half done with Gorgrond. Or maybe almost done. I don't know, because it's having me do all the quests first, and we haven't gone and done all the bonus objectives yet. Which is interesting, because there's a lot of bonus objectives here. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. And as always, remember, it's never too latte. Hi y'all, Kraken Latte here. Welcome back to this week's episode of me playing World of Warcraft and talking about everything that I can think of spontaneously. I really need to work on those intros. Anyways, this time, if you've watched previous episodes of mine, which there's only 3 so far, still relatively new series, I am not continuing Azeroth Auto Pilot because I completed it already in advance because I had the time and I wanted to see what I would get out of it, and it took me like 8-ish hours, which is way over what I want. And you do stay in WoD for like the whole thing, so whatever. And I know people have recommended me to try Zygor and a couple others, but I don't feel like I need to. I mean, I have all the info. Okay, right. Sorry for the loudness. This loudness. Blast this loudness. I have audio turned down, but this dang BFA intro does this every time. Okay. La 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 la. Yeah, Talanji. Anyway, as you can see, we're doing something a little different here. What we are doing is I am still in the middle, well, toward the end, rather, of crafting the 1 to 50 leveling guide. I've completed, testing all the zones, the preliminary stuff anyways. I've completed every zone in World of Warcraft now. That's done. So that's good. I have that information done now. But now what I'm doing is going through, I've preened out all the good or possibly good if used differently zones that I have on my list. And I've tested a bunch of them in different ways, in different brackets. And seeing, who has the best time, not just overall time, but average minutes per level type of thing. That's what I'm basing this off of. But anyway, what I'm doing here is, if you've seen my Zandalar Kultiris Part 2, then you'll know. The Horde BFA intro and the Horde War Campaign Footholds, I call them War Zones incorrectly, but whatever, is really good. Like, you get like 2.5 levels in 30 minutes. But that's only in the early 40s. If you do it at 48, you get like 1.5 levels because of the depreciation and experience that you get. So, I've got Hordes 1 through 46 pretty much solid. Kind of the issue I'm running into is there's like 2 to 4-ish levels that I keep needing. Like, at first it was like right before 30, late 20s before 30, then I solved that. And then it was like 38 to 40. For some reason, I just couldn't get that, and I have that solved. And it was also 48 to like 50 was just not working. But now, 1 to 46 for Horde specifically, not Alliance. They're being a pickle, so I switched to Horde. Horde 1 to 46 is solid. I'm happy with it. And 1 to 46 I can do in 5.4 hours on Horde, which is really good. My goal, if possible, is to do all of 1 to 50 in 6 or under 6 hours. That's what I want. That's my goal. And it's been really difficult because I'm a stickler for my goals I get really upset when I can't meet something. Like, time goals are one thing, but I mean actually a product, a finished... Go to dress fire first here. Yep. Finished product, that's, you know... Because this, you know, as a reminder, this route's for me too. I'm going to be using this. And if I'm not happy with it, turn this off here, because Gallywix will run off if you just pick up Mother Loath and you have to wait. There we go. Now he can run off and be like, "Arr, Motherlode stuff," but I don't care. Anyways, what was I talking about? Gallywix distracted me. A little pudgy man. Pudgy green boy. Yeah. My route. This is the route for me as much as it is for you. So think of it like I'm crafting this route for me, and I'm happy with it, and I'm gonna be using it, so I'm sharing it with you. You know, I'm not crafting this for the sake of making a leveling guide so you guys have it and I get money. Like, I'm probably not going to make a lot out of the video by itself necessarily, but that's not why I'm doing it. I want it for me and I want to share. This is stuff I would have been doing anyways. So, anyway, so with that all in mind, what I'm doing here is I'm figuring out the best 46 to 50 for Horde specifically right now. Could possibly trickle over into Alliance, depending on if it's neutral stuff or not. And the deal with the Foothold unlock stuff and the BFA intro for Horde is it was like 2.5 levels and 30-ish minutes, which for the 40s is like 14 minutes per level, which is really good. It was something in that range, like 12 to 14 or something, which is really good, really, really good, because most zones, and you can see this, by the way, if you go to my Discord and look at hashtag zone-compendium, I've got the entire list of all the zones in there, and the little italicized numbers at the end of each set of levels after the minutes is the minutes per level average. But anyways, a lot of zones, you know, just like the whole zone, are like 15, 16, 17, which are still the good ones, quote unquote. And then there's like 19, 20, 30. Yeah, like some of them even jump that high. And so even if it's like a little bit of XP, I do some math. Like say I get, here's an example. High Mountain's pretty good. I've been breaking down the specific side quest chains in that zone. A lot of zones have, especially newer zones mainly, a main quest chain. Main quest, like this is the main storyline. And then all these little pockets of random quests that are between 2 and 10 different quests and have nothing to do with the main storyline. They're optional. Those are side quests. I am, in the case of High Mountain, and I'm doing this with other zones too, looking at what side quest pockets are the best or should just not be done. Like I found out the, I can never remember what they're called. You think I'd know, but the rat people, that's what I call them. In High Mountain, there's a couple quest chains. The rat people, the one with the goblin and like shooting the rabbits or something. Picking up the rabbits, that's what it is, and shooting the hawks. And those ones are not good. Don't do those, because they're like 16 to 20. You know, in that average. So even though I get like say 0.60 of a level, I can still do the same math and see what the average would be. And that's how I'm deciding this. And because of that math, I've gotten Horde down to 5.4 hours, which delights me. Because I keep fine-tuning it. I just keep getting better and better. Because that's the thing. You don't do certain, you know, quest lines. You're going to speed yourself up. Not just because you're not doing them, you know, time, like overall time-wise. I'm talking average-wise. Like, my 1 to 46 average minutes per level is way higher than it was when it was 1 to 50, with a previous route that I did, and doing everything in High Mountain, doing everything in a couple other zones that are on the route, including the little quest pockets that aren't good. And it was like 6.5, almost 7 hours. Yeah, I think that's a big difference, you know. But just dropping off a few things that are very actually bad on time makes a huge difference. And I'm down to 5.4. Like, I know I keep saying that, but I'm delighted. Like, as of right before this video, in fact, like an hour ago, as of me recording this, I got it down to 5.4. So I'm still excited because it was previously like 6.5. My lowest for Alliance right now is 6.1. Still not quite happy with that because there's a couple pieces that are an issue. I don't know, I'm just like chattering on about this, but I'm super excited, and it's what's been on my mind for days because to be honest, the leveling and testing for all the zones in the game that I was doing, the preliminary testing, that's boring. Like, I enjoy it to a point, but I'm not slowing down and actually reading the quests. I'm blasting through them as fast as reasonably possible. So, you know, that's, you know, so it makes it kind of boring because I'm just blasting through it. And they're not all the zones that I would want to level in. Now I'm just on the stuff that I enjoy, even though I'm not reading the text or anything. Which is pleasing me because I'm almost there. I'm so close. So close. Seems we have a lovely, what do you call those things? An invasion or assault or whatever it is. Active, whatever. I wish you could do the assaults solo. I don't know how good they would be for XP because last time I tried, there was two... get up there. There we go. There was 2 world quests, because remember, you need 4, speaking about the assaults here, 4 quests to be able to do the little end scenario thing, which is really where you get a lot of your XP, by completing it. And you get that buff. But, if the buff's even still there, I don't know. Something to look into. But, last time I tried it, I could solo 3 of the world quests, but then there was 2, I call them kill quests, but they're the big elites that require a group. I couldn't solo them, and I wasn't level 50. You can't make a group from the group finder until level 50 now, which I still think is the dumbest change ever. That drives me crazy, because all the old group quests, you can't do them now. Unless you're actually already questing with someone. Which means Legion and Invasions and BFA Assaults are literally undoable, uncompletable, unless you already have a group or there happen to be other people there. And there never is. I play on high pop and full pop servers, and there's never anyone there. I even waited a few times and typed in general like, hello? Is anyone there? Crickets. Literal crickets. So, which is fine. Whatever. It's probably not good XP. At least the BFA assaults, because the BFA assaults weren't good XP even when BFA was current. It was just lame. So, whatever. Whatever. Is whatever. So, not a big deal. Anyways. Oh, I got a level out of that, so that was Dressivar. Dressivar done. Nice. But anyways, so it's what's on my mind. That's why I'm talking a lot about the leveling stuff, because on one hand, I just want to be done with it. Ooh, 47. Nice. I just want to be done with it. I want to move on to Shadowlands stuff. I'm dying to get into Shadowlands stuff because I've been doing this since last November. I've dabbled in Shadowlands stuff. I quested through all the zones a couple times with my bestie back when she was still playing. She hasn't played since January. So, you know, I've been stuck in the old world, and I see everyone being like, oh, Shadowlands, and I'm like, I haven't really done any of it yet. I haven't even done the Venthyr. Let's see, let's go to Terragard next. Yeah, do these in order here. I haven't even done the Venthyr or Night Fae Covenant quest lines. Campaigns, that's the word. I've done Kyrian. Did I finish? Yes. I was halfway through the Maldraxxus Necrolord one when Silverfire stopped playing, my bestie. So I waited and waited and waited, and she's apparently not coming back. Who knows? It's been several months now. So I was tired of not seeing what was happening, so I finished that one. I have done the Necrolord one, which is definitely cool. But I haven't even done the other two. I really want to. And sometime before this week's reset, I need to squeeze in 9.1 patch stuff. I have to look up exactly what it is, or maybe I'll figure it out when I try it. Because you need Renown 44 to unlock flying. And I've heard that it will take you 2 weeks to do so, because week 1 you get to like 43, which means week 2, next week, as of this video recording, you'll get your flying. And while I normally would just be like, whatever, I'll wait, I'm doing something else right now, I need to get my flying, because as soon as I'm done with these, which I'm hoping to be done with these by next week, the 1 to 50 guides for Horde and Alliance, which will be different. They already are, so they will be 2 separate guides. It's not the same for both sides. Sorry. I want to go right into the Shadowlands stuff. And I partly waited to do Shadowlands stuff. I've already done a lot of testing on it, because I was doing testing on the Shadowlands 50 to 60 stuff before I was even doing the 1 to 50 stuff. But I've decided to go ahead and wait for flying. Partly, mainly, I guess, because that's what I do anyway. I usually level all of my lobies that I want leveled in the first patch or two until flying becomes available, and then I level all my alts in the new content. Of course, I do a good handful of alts in the first couple patches of the new zones without flying, because I like experiencing that as it was meant to be experienced, if that makes sense. Because, flying is not very RPG-ish, kind of think about it. But of course, that ship has sailed, no pun intended. WoW has flying, and you just have to deal with it. So, I wait for flying. Because that's going to be a main factor in the guide, and hopefully do a lot of speed up, because as it is right now, leveling through Threads of Fate is technically faster if you know what to do and what not to do. It's a little funky. I appreciate where they were going with Threads of Fate, and I want more of that. I just think the system needs to be refined a little bit, and I'll talk about that when I start doing that testing. Since this type of content here, these Let's Play videos are pretty mindless. I can quest without thinking about it. So I can just blabber and talk about whatever's on my mind. But anyway, yeah. What am I talking about? Oh. I want flying. Because as soon as I'm done with these guides, which is hopefully by next week, no promises. Depends on how much, Horde's almost there. I can feel it. In a day or two, I'll probably have Horde figured out. Alliance, though. Alliance is lacking. A lot of the really good zones that made my end list for me to test and retry or do in different ways were either faction neutral or Horde specific. A lot of the good old Alliance zones aren't that good anymore. Or they're not good in the ranges I need them to be good in. A lot of them are good, in the same range. And if you try to pull 1 or 2 of them into a different set of levels, they depreciate so horribly, it's, not worth your time. So, Alliance is a pickle because I'll just tell you right now, especially the 23 to 30 range. Because Horde, it's probably no secret, has Silver Pine and Hillsbrad is the new. Can't even say it's a fad because it is legitimately the best. I can't beat it. You can go from 10 all the way to 30 in a couple hours. Bam. So, you know, not even a couple hours. It's a couple hours including the 1 to 10, which is 30 minutes. So, yeah, getting a little down there on the health. Where do these little swarthy pirates keep coming from? Jerks. That's okay. Hopefully I don't die. That would be embarrassing. Can I not be in combat anymore? Seriously? Really? Oh, yeah. Being a Beastmaster is a gift and a curse. Ironically, like I know people have commented, you play a lot of Beastmasters. I play it because it's easy. My favorite hunter spec is actually Marksman. But Marksman, because I prefer the no pet version, the lonely hunter or lone wolf or whatever it is, it's kind of a bitch to level with. Because hunter's very squishy. And I would know. I mained hunter for almost all of Legion. Even in raids. I raided all the way up into Mythic with it. Up until Tomb of Sargeras. And then I said, okay, I'm good with raiding. It's kind of when I was starting to slow down. I picked back up in Antorus, but that was with a priest. But anyway, so I play Beastmaster because it's easy. And that's not to say it's the only one I've been leveling with. I mean, I've leveled with every class multiple times. Warlocks, warriors, monks, mages. Mages are definitely a little more difficult. Mages and priests, I think, are my two least favorite to level with. But that doesn't mean I don't still have a lot of them. In fact, mage is one of my favorite classes. So I have a lot of them. So as you can imagine, this is kind of a catch-22 there. But anyway, yeah, hunters are squishy. And leveling with Beastmasters, kind of the easiest for me. Especially since the rotation is very simple. And you got tank pets. Whatever. Alright, the pirates are done. Yar. Excellente. Now we just got, whatever that place is called. Storm Song. That one. Yep. Hey, might actually hit 2 levels. Good. I was wondering, I don't know if I'll actually use this or not, so you can use this information however you want. I don't know if it'll actually end up in the guide. Depends on, what happens. But, I was hoping that it would still give me the full 2 levels. In the, like, for the 40 to 42s, 43s, you get 2.5. And I did try it at 38. 38 to... What is going on here? Okay, that one's broken. Let's go with the other cannon then. Broken cannon. Anyways, I did try it in 38, but 38 to like 42 have the same XP scaling and depreciation, so it didn't make much of a difference. I still got 2.5 levels out of it, unfortunately. Which is fine, because I ended up going a different route with the 38 to 40 issue, and it ended up actually cutting like 45 to 60 minutes off of my overall. Yeah, you know, a whole hour. That's why getting stuck in things. That's why when things don't work out, you just gotta take it in stride, because sometimes when things don't work out, you find a better solution than what you would have been stuck with before, and you never would have realized it if you weren't forced to change. Sometimes forced change is a good thing. There you go, life lessons with Latte. So, and it's stuff that'll benefit the Alliance guide too, one way or another, because I'm trying to make them similar without trying to make them the same, if that makes sense. Like, the level scaling and the depreciation between level brackets doesn't matter. It doesn't change between the two factions. So, you know, that's going to be the same there. All the zones are still, you know, in certain brackets similar with their how they give you XP. It's just a matter of getting the right ones. And for Alliance, they're a little lacking. All the good old zones that I used to use just aren't there. And like Fellwood is still really good, but it's better in the higher levels. And not great in the lower one because you can't go there until 15. But that doesn't solve my 23 to 30 problem for the Alliance, simply because it takes like 100 and something minutes, 107 or something, I don't have my list in front of me, to do all of Fellwood. And even, I think, to get the 7 levels I need is like 70-ish minutes. If I were to use Fellwood for an example. And that's too long for 7 levels. That's 10. 10 minutes per level. Which, in the 10 to 30 range, I accept no more than 8. I know I'm being really harsh on that, but that's the only way I can get that. So it's just too high. And on top of that, it's a pain in the anus to get to if you don't have flank, because Fellwood's all the way out there. And actually, it's actually harder to get to for Alliance than it is to Horde. And you'd be like, well, just take the Hyjal portal. You can't take the Kata portals until 30. And I'm supposed to be 23 when I try to do that zone. So I would have to go all the way to Darnassus. Darnassus. And fly my way down, because if you get the flying map toys for Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdoms, you get a flight point there, but it takes you not to the flight point it should take you. It takes you one that's very north in the zone, and you actually start at the very southern end. If you try to do those quests out of order, it throws the whole zone off, trust me. So it's like, yeah, too much of a pain. Like, on one hand, I'm willing to travel a little bit, but, you know, you gotta kind of look at it at certain points. Just no, just not gonna work. So, Fellwood probably won't be in the end guide. I'm sorry, everyone who liked it, because according to a lot of people, my original guide was revolutionary with Loch Madonna and Fellwood and Winter Spring, and which is funny because I've been leveling in those zones for years. And people called me crazy. Same with Borean Tundra. Specifically for Alliance, though. It's not good for the Horde. Wasn't then, still isn't now. But anyway. So. Yeah. It's being a pickle. That's okay. So yeah. I'm getting there, though. I'm getting there. Hey, look at that. 2 levels. 46 to 48. Nice. I made it after all. That's good. That's good. Now, am I going to use this? I don't know, because I still have 2 levels to go. And no, I don't want to go straight to Shadowlands, even though you can at 48, just because that bracket already takes 50 to 60 already takes ages. I don't want to be there any longer than I have to, if it makes sense. If I can do some trickle over, then I will. And that's it. I guess we're done. That was it. I did that in 28 minutes. Ha! I beat my other record of 29. So, anyway. That will do it for this episode. Good enough, I think. I've rambled at you long enough. The guides are coming soon, so prepare yourself. They're coming. And then the 50-60 guide will come after that. So, I'm excited. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's never too latte.
did you know I stream on Twitch now? I do everything from transmog to leveling to gold making, and I'm live 5 days a week to chat with, so come hang out. And there we have it. If you think I've missed information or you want to request I do a specific guide, let me know in the comments below. Even if I don't answer you, I just might add your idea to my list. As always, thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's never too latte.